Oi, oi, Serverloy. So, Fnatic just played Dust 2 on against Titan in the last map of that best of 3, and they beasted them. So that's definitely going to be a help. Perhaps they will have some momentum in there. We will have to wait and see very shortly. Good evening, ladies and gents. So we are into the last 2 matches of the day. We've got Andersen Semler a few doors down on StarLadder 11 casting the other match, but we're going to be here on the main stream casting this best of 3. What are you expecting, Dan?
I think that the opinion was very split on the desk. I mean, there's a lot of factors weighing into this. Again, it's a seeding match. We have an exhausted TQM. Fnatic haven't been on point. There's a lot of things going on that probably make it incredibly difficult to predict. So, going on a gut feeling, I probably would go for TQM. Actually, generally speaking, I think we have seen. I mean, we got to cast a couple of Fnatic games, and I did feel like there was a little bit of weakness there. Funnily enough, though, we didn't get to cast any TQM games, so we actually haven't seen them yet today. So, you know, we haven't even got anything today to go on for their sake. So, I'll say TQM 2-0. Why not? Why not? Why not?
I think Envy are playing amazing at the moment.
They are,
and I think that's something to consider when you consider the performance of Fnatic. So, I mean, I think we didn't get to see Envy versus TQM, but they seem to be 2 close maps. And I feel like I expect olofmeister to do better in this match than he did in that match. I think the momentum they might have from the Titan game, despite them not closing out Inferno against Titan, I expect that they'll have a better performance. So I think it's been a long day for both teams. As to which one is going to come out on top, I'm of course, Dan, not going to pick.
Yeah, because you don't do that, Jace.
I don't normally do that, no. Unless personally I am, you know, really confident that I think one team's going to win, I'm not going to pick. I don't care about all this prediction nonsense.
That's ridiculous.
I'll predict
the way it works
on my terms when I feel like it. Thank you very much.
Well,
there's a random chair behind me. I don't know what that's doing there. I'll blame Andersen Semler.
All right, was that on shot?
This place was a damn mess when we came in here.
Was that on shot?
We had microphones unplugged, headphones unplugged, random chair behind the stage. What are they doing in here?
My headphones were unplugged. That's not uncalled for.
Moving swiftly on. QuestionMark going to be starting on the CT side. I wonder if the other casters have been upholding the mutiny against calling device Dever.
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure that they have.
Right.
At least I'm going to make that assumption.
Well, we have a 2-man push on short here from the CTs. cajunb coming through with device looking towards lower B. And after Fnatic had initial presence in long A, they've decided to abandon it. Going to have a look at top mid and see what's going on there. Maybe both these teams trying to figure out what each other are doing. flusha and KRIMZ going to quickly go down to the superior USPs. Going to be stronger than those Glocks, and they're pushing into the B-bomb side, the remaining Fnatic players, but still no frags for the Fnatic team. JW versus 5. JW God with 12 HP. Not God, Zod. If you know that reference, send me a tweet.
And he has a profile picture featuring a constipated Voldemort for some reason. Not sure what's going on.
How do you know he's constipated?
Look at his face change. That is a man with extreme constipation.
You might be right. Or he might have lost the 1 versus 2.
That's quite possible. Well, either way, we have the typical anti-force buy sort of situation here for Team QuestionMark, as the Deagles are in play. And it's very scary when there are Deagles in play these days, especially in the hands of Fnatic. And they're looking to try to get a couple players out into long, potentially wanting to get into the A split. Short plants on situations like this are really nice, because you can actually play mostly from the mid-ranges. With the pistols, that's going to be ideal. And it's like Dennis will be the man to make the first peek potentially up the stairs. And cajunb's there with that MP7, so he's not going to have the best killing power from that range, actually. So it could be quite possible for a couple of shots to be rattled off by Dennis before any damage is received. But the smoke will go in as we look and see Device managing to catch an eye on a couple players of Fnatic, and they're not really wanting to push forwards now. So Device will just throw a flash out, and Fnatic will fall back again. But it does seem like Fnatic do want to go for either the A or the pressure on A into the quick cat drop into B.
There is a lurker towards long for Fnatic, so we'll see what the Swedish side are able to do in this situation. JW boosted onto the boxes on long, but QuestionMark are smarter than to play the close quarters against the Nico. The push on the short is coming in. There's a player on Goose, I think it's cajunb. In fact, you see Xyp9x throwing the flashbang for his teammate to come in. Another flash, but cajunb not revealing his position just yet. Xyp9x going to run distraction as the MP7 of cajunb comes in. Dennis down and out. Fnatic trying to be careful because there are lots of angles to hold and defend from. 2 CTs on the site, 1 heavily tagged. Olofmeister coming in from the underpass, but there's sorry, from mid, but there's no time left for these 2 Ts. JW going to go down just before the clock, I think, which is going to be good for him as it will give him that loss bonus. I've never seen that there before.
You haven't?
Is that normal?
Yeah, it's been there for ages.
Really?
Yeah.
How long?
At least a month or 2.
Oh, so it's relatively new.
I would say actually probably 2 months. At least, maybe a bit more.
Well, there we go. 2-0 to QuestionMark. Fnatic going to be on the eco now. Just the Tech9 saved from the previous round for olofmeister, it seems, with the Kevlar. Other than that, not much going on.
Yeah, pretty standard. And this is really good for TQM because once they can get the ops rolling on the CT side, things change quite a lot as to their normal rifle setups. Gives the device a lot more freedom in mid. And we'll probably see him playing off of dupreeh quite a lot there with the AWP later on. Dupreeh, as actually mentioned on the desk, can give him a lot of added security in the kinds of engagements he wants to take with the AWP. And that's going to be a fun dynamic to watch later on. But for now, it's still, you know, quite a passive and safe play. Still got the SMGs going as they know that they're up against pistols with no Kevlar really to speak of. Here they come onto the A site. So Xyp9x there, and he's one of the safest players. Here he goes, he's going to spot quite a few there. He's got cajunb giving him some covering fire. He's still not dead.
They pulled the entire rotation again. What is this? It's not even G2, but we have dupreeh going back because the bomb is over towards the B bomb site. JW is going for the fake. He's only got a Glock, so surely he can't do this. But the fact that they exited the site with 5 players alive. Second time we've seen that this tournament. Come on, chaps. Come on.
I mean, they didn't commit everyone at least. I mean, he still had vision onto the site, but unlike G2.
No, he abandoned the site.
G2 actually had nobody on the site at all, which is kind of nuts. With no vision either. But TQM, they don't give up a plant or anything silly like that. And now it's the AWP onto Fnatic. Oh, look at this. Dennis really fast. Look how fast he is up here. They won't expect this, but the counter flash is going to do the damage there. And Fnatic's Dennis and flusha, he was looking to try to support Dennis in that aggression, is going to go down. That was a really nice play from Fnatic, but TQM just a bit better this time around on the grenades.
Yeah, and you can see dupreeh closing the information, closing the net on the remaining Fnatic players. That's going to be a super important kill, so they know that Fnatic can only be long, top, mid, or T-spawn area. So Fnatic with 2 players left, what can they do? cajunb not getting that shot somehow. There is a player in the pit, JW having a quick look. The nades will give away karrigan's position, but really, what can Fnatic do in this situation? Don't count them out there. We've seen some ridiculous round wins on Dust 2 just recently in the previous map. Holding angles. There is support by Xyp9x for karrigan in the pit, who's made his way out now, which doesn't seem to have been detected by the Ts. 2 versus 4, 45 seconds left. That's a reasonable amount of time for Fnatic to do something. They're not being engaged, though. Off angles being held. olofmeister, will take down karrigan regardless. There is a player towards Car now, so the support play changes. Device in position with a flashbang, perhaps, and Xyp9x is going to come out, only getting the 1 frag. JW will take down Xyp9x, and now he's in a 1 versus 1 situation. 20 seconds left, and he is trying to dispose of the AWP, but while he's doing that, dupreeh coming in for the flank, and he will finish things off and take that AWP.
So generally speaking, you know, TQM finding a lot of comfort, and you know, from what people on the desk were saying, okay, you know, fatigue is setting in for them, sure, but that said, you know, they do have a lot of stamina, and they have been looking better, I guess. I mean, we haven't seen that firsthand, but from everything I've heard, they've been looking better and looking at the results than Fnatic. And Fnatic going for a fast B play this time. Never mind. Might just go out mid quickly, maybe set up the B split potentially. They do have a lot of nades, pistols to play with. Device goes in quite close. And there's a tag onto KRIMZ there, so all these players are getting quite low, and we'll see some grenades raining into middle. The pressure from TQM is quite strong there, and Fnatic have to just wait it out now because of these nades that have been thrown down by TQM.
TQM have even been as brazen as to abandon the B bomb site for extended periods of time. Again, making a read on what to expect from players and so on and so forth. So Fnatic still just moving around the mid area. TQM still confident that nothing's happening towards the bomb site. dupreeh with a cursory flashbang, just checking, making sure nothing is going on over there, and he would be correct in that sense. So what is the play from Fnatic? It seems to be over towards short perhaps, but that shot from karrigan may change that, although the trades are coming in now. Again, the remaining two players, both heavily tagged, just on a Tech 9 and a Mac 10. So Zipex can do this, but it could be an overextension for him to go all the way around the corner. Although it seems that the water might come to the horse. Nope, they've changed their mind. And they are moving away. 30 seconds left, and as the clock continues to tick, Zipex will have the information for his team, so dupreeh may have some expectations now. cajunb coming in from the back, bomb goes down, and JW 7 HP can't do any more damage to the economy of TQM, who survive with 3 players intact.
Yeah, right now it does look like TQM are pretty much hitting their stride. Of course, everything's looking, you know, fine and dandy so far. They're hitting their shots, all this kind of, you know, business. But, you know, that said, you know, when Fnatic have had their buys, they've not really been connecting. None of their plays have really been coming together in the way that they'd imagined them. So it's more or less a matter of time until Fnatic start having some strong rounds themselves. I wouldn't count them out in any way just yet. But this is starting to get a little bit worrying as far as TQM's economy goes. And dupreeh trying to get himself up into that position, which is really good at countering B splits. And he's going to get a boost, actually, from Zipex finally. Zipex usually the player that plays on the A site that sometimes tends to drop down into the CT spawn position if dupreeh is playing the bomb site, and in the instance where Device is playing mid with the AWP. But this time we've got Device on the B bomb site with the AWP instead. And cajunb watching over along with his. JW wants to challenge this. Will there be a flash? Or will he just go for it? Nothing much happening there just yet, as Fnatic play this quite slowly. There's still a minute left on the clock, as they've got most of the map control that they would need. But they don't yet know how the setup is for TQM. They don't yet know that it's a 1-4. This is one of those amazing kinds of plays that TQM start to do when they get a lot of economy, as they start to force a situation where you're going to be moving into a stack.
So JW is already outside of that smoke. He can take someone by surprise potentially here. karrigan, is he going to have the right angle? He's in the pit and JW seems to be looking for him. Dennis coming up short. cajunb to take him down. Is JW going to be able to push in time? The bomb's being planted for short. 2 CTs coming up the ramp. There's 4 on long now in total, as Dan pointed out. So Kennedy's holding against all these guns. flusha and KRIMZ with 2 fast frags. olofmeister bringing in a third. 4 versus 2 now, and the stack has not worked out for the CTs. JW just standing in the middle of the smoke, causing massive problems here for these CTs. Finally gets taken down, and now they are stuck between a rock and a hard place, as olofmeister's coming in from the flank from T-spawn, and they are stuck in the long area with no way of winning this round.
So it worked out as it was kind of supposed to for TQM there. It's kind of like forcing the play into the A site, but you know, as you mentioned, the stack didn't really work out. It's like, you know, we're just hitting their shots out of the gate, which is fantastic for them, and a little bit discouraging for TQM. You should have had at least a lot more frags in that situation. Should have been a bit closer than it was. But we'll have to see how they you know, decide to handle this one now. Fnatic know that it's going to be a little while till they can force the eco out. I believe we can just double check the economy as soon as the floaty cam is going to disappear. In fact, yeah, actually, one more. This is the last buy left for TQM. They need to win this one to keep their buys alive in the near future. And here comes a fast play from Fnatic. We saw this a lot earlier from them, and they're very effective at this fast B play. In comes Device there, out looking for the frag. JW already taking down dupreeh, and that is it. 1 frag is not going to be good enough, and they're going to probably save now with the rest of their 3 players. Because what else can they do?
Yeah, they are miles away from this bomb site. I'm curious as to how much money is on the CT side. There we go. Not much at all, so saving 3 weapons will be important, and they'll probably, with Device on 3,000 already, it's very likely that they will buy around those in the next round. And somebody may be Missing a gun, going pistol, but we'll have to see. There's a reasonable amount of nades on these three TQM players as well, so we'll see if they can get back to winning ways very shortly. Again, Fnatic had a good time against Titan. I think Titan only got 4 rounds against, I think it was a 16-4 on that Dust 2, if I remember correctly.
It's something in that region.
Well, there we go. Double AWPs. They have a gun for everyone. I'm not sure if there's one on the floor, but I think there might not be. So Device and cajunb. karrigan's got the long spawn, but he's going to be going with a 5-7, interestingly. There's no early aggression, though, from Fnatic towards the long area. Rather, they're looking towards B. I'm not sure if there's a smoke on there, but flusha is definitely dancing around the B area, perhaps looking for a fast push from TQM, but there isn't going to be one. So 3 AWPs on the map. JW waiting for what could be an eventual peak to come in, taking pot shots now. Sees the shoulder, unable to make a connection. Device, it's worth noting, doesn't have any armor in this round with that AWP.
Yeah, dupreeh's out there to support him, so if you know, they felt that Device would be an easy frag, dupreeh is there to be the support and the surprise for that engagement. But short is taken over by Fnatic now, and again, they probably starting to put the pieces together of how the setup is going to be looking for TQM, but it's still not quite clear as they have players towards B, A, and middle and short. So they've got pretty much the maximal amount of map control you can have before you're running into the enemy territory. And JW is going to be able to pick up the bomb now. Problem for him, though, is that karrigan is really close with this 5-7. And they didn't have anybody watching those doors for a long time. And karrigan's creeping out of the doors. This could be a huge play right now. karrigan's coming in with a flank. He might just catch the information or an easy frag. This is a very big deal as he keeps moving forward, and flusha is going to get caught in the side. karrigan gets the quick kill onto flusha. That's going to be an AK for him if he wants it. And also, it's going to be they should know that it's a B play now. karrigan's seen everything pretty much.
Oh no.
I think it's a little bit too slow there, didn't have enough vision, and it's going to be down to Device. 2 frags for Device, peeks up, looks for the second. Can he get it? He's expecting JW to peek, but looks away just at the wrong moment. Now it's going to be a 2 versus 3 in favor of the, well, TQM, because the bomb needs to go down, actually. Will it go down in time?
Just about.
Just about. 3 versus 2. Will they go for this TQM? Looks like they're setting up for it. Now, absolutely, they will do it. cajunb with that frag onto JW should seal the deal, unless olofmeister goes huge.
Yeah, he needs to be the aggressor now. He can't let the CTs set up so they can trade for him. Looking for him, and he's not going to get any frags. Facing 2 at the same time, unfortunately, for olofmeister is going to be too much to ask. QuestionMark goes 6-3 now. Back to winning ways. 3 players surviving, which is a plus for their economy. Going to get that second goal back as well. So very fancy flying cams. Just waiting to see the buy on both teams. There we go. So we've got 3 AWPs on the map. Fnatic have a good buy. Only JW lacking the nades, just getting them late there, as you can see. So all good in the hood for both teams. Device getting shot through the door in the leg, it seems. So he will be surviving with 51 HP. Trying to hold an angle towards short. I'm not sure if he can see anything through there. Doesn't seem so. Flashed as well. And Fnatic will take the short area. QuestionMark holding aggressively towards long to try and avoid any splits. Zipex will hear lots of footsteps on the short area. May make the call to his teammates. cajunb has an AWP, so he can hold the angle from the car position, which he's setting up for.
So Dennis is the forward man of flusha towards the catwalk position. Now, looks like they might... There's 2 options they can go for here. They don't have anyone at long. They can try to pressure into stairs, leave a player there, and then go for a quick cat drop for the B split. That's quite a possibility here, and I'm thinking they might do that because they got a player in upper dark right now. He can be used as a lurker if they go for an A play, but without this split onto long, I think it's more likely we'll see the cat drop. But we'll have to see what they'll go for. Looks like they're just going to go for the A hit, and cajunb will make the first shot. Zipex is there on the bomb sites behind the crates. They're going to get flashed. How do they not get sprayed down there? And the trade comes in thanks to the grenade of flusha. Bomb will be planted. There's actually a huge chance here now for Fnatic to win this one, especially now JW is picking up yet more frags with that sniper rifle of his, and he's now going going to move forwards down onto the slope. Oh, what a shot there, straight onto dupreeh. This guy is so fast, so quick, so deadly.
So
Fnatic
so
with a great round out of nowhere, to be honest, because TQM did a great setup.
Yeah, and that's crushed the money situation for TQM. Might have a few players with a bit to spend. karrigan, although I think their loss bonus is reset, so he may not want to spend too much, so he can buy an AWP as soon as possible. 6-3, TQM still in the lead at present. Nobody running away with the match just yet. JW hitting all the shots at the moment. Another player's passed to his right and may try to close the distance and go for a bit of a barrel jump. Won't be needed. karrigan will charge and steal the AWP. We'll see if he can save it. What is the reaction here from Fnatic at the same time? They only, TQM only have one player over towards B bomb site, which you can see is dupreeh. His teammates have been smoked off in CT, but olofmeister is going to get shot in the face. And there goes flusha as well. So dupreeh's done great damage, allowed his teammate to come in, but KRIMZ has taken down 2. Dennis with a 3rd, very quickly leaving cajunb alone as karrigan is dispatched of. Dennis in the right position to finish off the round. Much damage done to the Fnatic side, but they have taken round, and that's what counts when all is said and done.
dupreeh's pretty notorious for the deagle in that position, actually. Often getting quite a few frags with it. So 6-4, and it looks like Fnatic has started to really explode. 2 AWPs on their side, Dennis and JW. JW's really been going a bit ham in recent rounds. Dennis with a very fast spawn. He's great at these peak shots, and just barely mistiming it there after getting flashed. It's a good play by TQM to get a player close behind the smoke. It's karrigan with FAMAS there. Other than that, oh, you are joking.
In the face, baby.
That is heinous. Now, that's a really big frag, actually. 5 versus 4, already a weapon advantage. Not many nades on TQM. They're in trouble.
Again, TQM, having lost long, are holding very aggressively towards short. flusha now is his turn to get a bit of a tag from an AWP. Going to be down to 54 HP. JW still holding the angle. And with olofmeister moving towards the Xbox, it appears that long is going to be taken by the Fnatic side. Indeed, it is. A minute on the clock here, so what can TQM do about this? 2 towards B, 2 towards A. Starting to move away from short is cajunb, who's going to have a look towards long. But if these Fnatic players hug the wall, then there may be little he can do. The nade's going in that might give away the game, and that's going to stop D player and CT Spawn from doing anything. KGB's takedown flusha instantly traded by Dennis, however, leaving only 1 player on short. That Zipex is splitted, stopped by him. But the plant is coming in for the platform, and there's already an AWP on the platform. JW is now going to be moving to a different position in long, so this hold should be strong from Fnatic. Zipex and device, all that remains here. Can they get across the angle? Then it's going to be flashed off and taken down as well, choosing to go for a timing shot rather than escaping. KRIMZ has not got much life left, down to 14. JW saving him for the moment, and I think JW is playing close now to take down Zipex by surprise, who's probably expecting KRIMZ to be the man he'd be engaging. So very nice play by Fnatic.
I love how TQM were able to actually take down Dennis, who was on the crossover with the AWP. That's a spot where you normally are thinking, okay, that's how do you defeat that? But they had the perfect pinpoint timing on that push. You can see they both turned their backs, trusting that their flash would be spot on, and that's the level of detail that there is in the TQM team. And as we see KRIMZ loading up on Snooze again, we have the next round about to start, and Fnatic have really come alive. They've really come alive, thanks to players such as Dennis and JW in particular. He seemed to be really on point, JW. How long can he keep it going, though? TQM finally being, well, broke on the money. It's been a while, but they are finally there.
I'm assuming that one of these teams has paused. And we'll see what happens when we get back into the game. We don't have a game PC at the moment, so we can't report exactly what's going on within the game itself.
JW's got like a different color headset to everybody else.
That's great. Back into the match.
All right, okay. No need to fill there then. Okay. So yeah, you can see full eco for TQM.
Ooh, dink.
And the standard anti-eco that we saw many times earlier from Fnatic onto the B side.
olofmeister had his bell rung, but will there be any kills for the team? flusha's going to be the one to go down first. Only 2 CTs remaining. stuck on the wrong side of the choke points. Nades coming in. No armor for these two players. Boom! Zipex has been sent into another dimension by that HE. cajunb now with all of 33 HP and a USPS is dead. And Fnatic move on, only losing one player this time. Olofmeister getting 2 kills with the Mac 10. Going to be good for the coffers, as we call it in the UK. Not sure what they call that in Belarus.
Nor am I. Couldn't tell you. Belarusian's not yet that's proficient. We get a cat boost coming in from TQM for a quick timing, or perhaps a quick boost, but Dennis's timing is even faster. Look at this. It is absolutely savage. Just running straight down Suicide, straight into short, fastest possible timing. Dennis is not stopping. He will mow down karrigan, finding his head with that spray, and now it's going to be Fnatic with the A-bomb site, and that's kind of pretty much over right now, this round.
Yanko was saying something about fast, short pushes, and there is another example of one. Dennis just running the lawnmower, trimming the CT players towards the A site. dupreeh trying to hold on for dear life at the moment, but he has players coming in from the front and the rear. And there we go, taken down from the rear, leaving Device alone to be hunted by a maniac, or 3. 6-6, soon to be 7-6. There it is, Fnatic taking the lead. I think it was 6-3 for TQM. So Fnatic have won 4 rounds in a row now. And there you go, Dennis just charging as Dennis does. Hyper-aggressive player. My other nickname is DennisFan1. Double AWPs onto the Fnatic side in the second last round of the first half. Not going to make a connection through the double doors just yet. JW still rolling with a Mac 10 while Olof and flusha go for the AWPing. So many AWPers on both these teams, in fact.
This is a really hard situation for TQM, but they're the team to do it. Actually, what we're seeing right now from them is actually quite standard. Typically, when teams go for information, when they spot that there is nobody in CT spawn, what they assume is the case is that there'll be 2 on the B side, but in reality is that there's actually 3, but it's just hidden. So it's kind of this. The idea is to kind of bait Fnatic to go into a B play, whereas some teams would actually try to find information and attack and go aggressive to even the advantage. TQM in this round used deception to try to encourage a team to go and hit B. But Fnatic, I don't think, are going to be falling for this, and they're going to know their opponent well enough to try to avoid this stack situation that TQM have actually gone for on with the B bomb site with those 3 players there. Now, let's have a look and see how this develops as we get the push coming in too short. And they are actually just going to commit, with the bomb as well. So, looks like they got the perfect counterplay. They've read this well, have Fnatic.
karrigan spotting players on the A site will mark the rotation of the B players. Bombs go down, and that will speed everything up. JW still with the Mac 10, having smoked off CT spawn, is going to be looking to have some fun. And it looks like the round has been abandoned. TQM putting themselves in a situation where they basically made a gamble it was going to be B. It wasn't B, so they are going to just try and keep everything they have for the next round. I'll be surprised if they all survive, considering Fnatic have to exit the bomb site, but they are in short going towards mid, so it might be a 10-man. We might have 10 people alive at the end of this round. That would be impressive.
Yeah, and this style of play is something that TQM have often tried to go towards, and it can be very, very devastating to some teams who aren't used to dealing with it, because they look for the usual telltale signs, and TQM uniquely run deception on you in that instance when they're at a disadvantage, as we see, and they do it sometimes even when they have full weapons as well. I think I remember making a video on this quite some time ago, but either way, it's a 6-8 scoreline, and as you mentioned, big comeback from Fnatic, and the full save of TQM leaves them without. Well, they just don't have an AWP to play with. You know, what do? How do they even the field at the moment? With the push coming in on too long, just one player, olofmeister going through all the nades, he's going to get eliminated. So 5 versus 4 for TQM, not too bad.
I don't know that I've ever seen 10 people alive at the end of a round where the bomb was detonated before.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, indeed, it is a man advantage for TQM. karrigan getting a bit greedy though, going to get no scope by JW, traded by cajunb. So 3 Fnatic players to the 4 CTs, and you can see Device is playing the blind spot there. even if you're top of short, you can't see that spot. He's not going to get a two-man spray down. More trades coming in. Still a man advantage for TQM, but now they're getting stretched over two sites. If these two Fnatic players can combine, maybe something nice can be done, though. Dennis is going to get naded into oblivion, leaving flusha alone with the bomb. dupreeh with all of 10 HP, trying to waste as much time as possible. The rotation is coming in as he repeatedly peeks flusha. He'll have a teammate coming in, Zipex, for distraction, but dupreeh will get the final kill, 8-7 in favor of Fnatic.
So they really turned the heat up there, and it's hard to say exactly how this next half is going to go. But I'm feeling Fnatic now, a little bit of momentum with it. If they get a good start on the CT side as well, and JW is actually connecting as he has been with the AWP, it's going to be pretty hard for TQM. As I would say that their CT side is more prolific than their T side. They weren't able to have enough success there, I think. But we'll see. We'll see how it ends up going in the end. And you can see that the pistol has begun for the second half, and TQM are going to be moving towards the upper dark area to begin with. Straight into B, it would seem.
Indeed, that smoke going down is going to allow KRIMZ to take pot shots with no response. Lots of plays being tagged here for TQM. Device going to have a flank onto JW. Down goes KRIMZ as well. Dennis and Olof are all that are left for the Fnatic side. Everybody alive at TQM at present, so this retake's going to be nigh on impossible. olofmeister and Device dancing. He's got support from another player, has Device. olofmeister goes down, leaving Dennis alone versus 5. This would be an epic ace. There's the first shot. He's got 4 more to find. There's another one. karrigan didn't have much help. 3 headshots for Dennis. Starting to get a bit crazy there. He is a very dangerous man, but 5 was too much to ask on this occasion through the doors.
So it's TQM to get this, again, a pistol victory. They won the first round pistol as well. They've won the the first half pistol and the second half pistol now. So that's a nice advantage for them. It's going to feel a little bit annoying for Fnatic to be in that kind of a position. But they have been doing quite well on their force buys recently, so perhaps they can get something done here. It's one of the hardest maps to do the force buy on, but JW is going to move in straight from shorts. And when he catches somebody, they've been looking for it, though. They're playing quite passively, so JW can't get anything out of it, but he will get away with his life. That's actually quite nice for JW to accomplish that. And you can see that dupreeh is very wary that the push can come in. And he doesn't get the kill, and he does get tagged as well. So just the early damage exchanges are actually going the way of the Fnatic side so far. But they don't really have the weaponry, unfortunately, I think, to capitalize.
Dennis and JW tagged, karrigan, Zipex, dupreeh, and Device all tagged. And with 3 CZs on the Fnatic side, I do worry for the Danish team in this particular round. They have all the weaponry. They should be in a good position to win, but they are in a position to get absolutely wrecked if they're not careful. All the QuestionMark players in the mid area at the moment, just looking to get some engagements. Smoking off towards CT, but there's a player close to the door, and if they don't get a pop flash in and choose to push, they'll be in trouble. flusha almost getting 2 frags there, trying to pop the headshot. Just a bit of shoulder peeking there. 3 players coming, eventually taking him down. Fast flank coming in from JW, and this could savage the entire round here. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Dennis taking the first one. Fnatic take the round.
And, this is one of the, reinforces that point that in these force buy rounds, you want to take them quickly so you don't get situations like this where you allow the pistoling players to get tags here and there or isolate one of your players, stuff like this. Generally speaking, it's, the longer you're in a round, the more options they're going to have to try to mess with you. And that's exactly what we saw there. TQM able to make a massive, well, essentially blunderby with this incredibly slow pace getting picked apart. Now it's Fnatic. With all the guns, they've completely switched the situation on its head, and if they win this one, TQM are kind of screwed for the next couple rounds. So I have to see if Fnatic can keep their players alive, because that's a huge objective for them, is to keep all 5 alive.
You saw Zipex go for a bit of a shoulder peek there towards the long area to try and get some information, and the information he found was that there was a scout in that position, and you saw him quietly move away, walking on to reveal his position. dupreeh going for the pot shots. We saw him do it towards B. I've got to make a connection on this occasion. Still a minute on the clock for TQM to do something here. JW playing around the corner, trying to go for a spray, getting a bit of a tag here, but he's still got some more bullets in the magazine, getting one kill. He's got someone who's gone past him now. KRIMZ watching his back though. JW goes down, but can KRIMZ hold? Going to the Deagle, worried about running out of bullets. olofmeister coming in for the save. KRIMZ with a headshot and another shot onto dupreeh. Very nice hold from Fnatic, only losing JW. Again, Fnatic have been playing a good support game so far. Need a bit of a replay now of Dennis, almost going for the 1 versus 5.
Yeah, it's looking good for Fnatic again. JW is onto the Yorp, which is great for Fnatic. He's been hitting a lot of shots with that thing at the moment. And we'll have 2 players in B from Fnatic as well, so they can have potential to actually push up a dark with one of those players, because they are actually potentially thinking that TQM are just going to go for the B rush, and they're putting a lot of confidence in their teammates that they can defend short and long effectively with their rifles against the pistols on those ranges. So I think the confidence is not misplaced, but it might result in a bomb plant for TQM.
olofmeister moves away from Car just at the wrong time, so the bomb plant is going to come in for free. That nade is going to be meaty though onto karrigan, doing more than 80 damage. olofmeister with a 3-man kill following that nade. And there's still no answer from TQM yet. Only dupreeh remaining. So the bomb's going to get defused. They've got at least the bomb plant bonus, $800 per person. It's going to be nice. Fnatic, though, extending their lead now. We'll see if TQM can get back into the game. Going to have, on average, 5k, which will be fine for the T side, save for the fact that they won't be able to afford an AWP and armor. So, you're seeing olofmeister get a number of kills in a row here. Very nicely done. That will be a big help in getting Fnatic to that 11th round. So, going to be pushing long are the T side. Flash is coming in, but Device will be the one to take down Dennis. And the rest of the Fnatic players who were over towards long will retreat. No answer towards short yet from Fnatic. Just going to bide their time for the time being. 4 of the 5 players for TQM are in long at the moment.
Yeah, that's the problem really. They can't. The thing is you want to have pressure from short at the similar timing as you destabilize the long defense. Because then what happens is you get this crazy distraction if you which way do I look to these players, and you can split that defense and it's very effective. But Team QuestionMark, they realized that they didn't have that situation. They didn't overextend, which is good. And now they're rotating players into short after leaving one in long. This is a nice development here from TQM. Now it's time to capitalize. They move in for the engagements, trying to look and find those headshots. But so far, they're not going their way. But there you go. Finally, Zipex gets himself an answer. But back and forth here, we get a 3 versus 3 as an AK is picked up in middle by KRIMZ. Now, the bomb will go down here for TQM, but it's not going to be any easy task to hold this bomb site.
Look at this flank from Device in mid. Oh, KRIMZ just gets around the corner in time. He could have shut out the round. He's still got an opportunity to do it because basically 2 of the 3 Fnatic players are sandwiched in this position, and that smoke gives Device the time to get both these frags. But is he going to get one? One spray down. We've got a flying flusher, but he's not going to be able to answer. And then JW gets finished off by the 3rd player. So QuestionMark back to winning ways.
Yeah, good flank there from Device. You can see he was a little bit, tiny bit frustrated there. He's a bit delirious apparently. He's giggling over there at the ends of the desk, but he did make it happen in the end with the spray. And TQM pulling out of rounds. Both teams are quite low on money though, so we've entered a situation where TQM need to stabilize. We're getting into the last rounds of this half, and we'll have the aggression onto long go the way of Fnatic, not losing anybody. And Device is down to 7 HP. That's a really big loss for TQM. Now, how do they salvage this kind of position? How do they get the advantage back? Looks like they're going to go for a fast B split, actually. Just going for it, and JW's there to answer. He's got the AWP on that angle. The bomb's down in front of JW as well. He's made the call to his teammates. This is a huge, huge round for Fnatic to win, and they've got a strong advantage.
TQM managed to pick up the bomb and bring it back to relatively safe haven. And dupreeh's made his way into B, but KRIMZ, maybe he thought it was empty looking through the doors. KRIMZ, surprise, in the sight, shooting him in the back of the head, following up in the chest, and down he goes. 2 versus 4 now, and Device only has 7 HP with the bomb on karrigan. So it's going to be hard, but not impossible for TQM to get back into this. They can't really save at the moment because there's still a minute on the clock, and we're starting to get a flank from olofmeister towards long. He is in an advanced position, while the TQM players move towards short. So they have a bit of an opening here to try and get a plant on short itself, or towards short rather. We'll see if they go for it. They don't know if the site is clear. They don't know if somebody's watching them from long with an AWP, for example. So you can see they're going to have to go for a very slow approach. That slow approach may give the CTs time to identify the clear swathes of the map. Indeed, the plant goes down. They've got a player in CT, so that's the call. That's the rotation here for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's going to be quite tough to hold this. We've got flusha creeping on low. Okay, that's going to be an easy situation now. Device has no HP. Here comes flusha, finds the pixel. And the defuse comes in. 4 players left alive for Fnatic. Again, massive round to win. And we'll see a quick replay of Device taking down 2 players with the spray. I think he felt that it could have been a little bit cleaner. This last frag was a little bit strained. He almost died, actually. But you know, we're going to see the money situation in a moment, and it's going to be pretty brutal for TQM, as they just recently had won a round. And Fnatic just survived with a lot of players. As you can see, this is probably the last buy for TQM until they have to save one. That would put Fnatic onto 14 in this first map. And they are rolling with the double AWP, Olof and Dennis, on those AWPs.
TQM with their initial map control, just trying to identify what kind of setup Fnatic have. And you will see lack of engagement from the short angle from the CT. So the question is, where is the third CT playing, assuming 2 per site? They have time to identify that. Device taking down olofmeister, trying to hold an aggressive position. So a minute 10 on the clock. That's going to be a weakened A bomb site. You can see flusha on the slope there, putting a smoke down, trying to make things as awkward as possible for the Ts in that area. And indeed, it's Device and flusha which are going to be dancing with a burst fire. Device is going to win, though, with most of his health intact. Charging towards the site now. We see Dennis moving around the corner of long. Doesn't want to get into a firefight just at the moment. 2 players needing to rotate for Fnatic. 3 versus 5. They're likely to try and save in this situation, but look at the map control that TQM have. They pretty much have all the Fnatic players choked right now.
Yeah, this is a very, very poor situation for Fnatic. And hopefully in a moment we can get a look at the money situation, just to keep tabs on how things are actually going into the last rounds. Maybe. I mean, this would be a good time to check it out. Looks like JW will be able to take down dupreeh. They probably don't invest too much in attacking these remaining 3 players, and it's going to be really huge for Fnatic, as I do imagine that they're in a spot right now where, if they're going for that, they can't be on a lot of cash.
We may never know how much money they have, Dan.
We may never know. Oh dear.
Because we must have floaty cam at all times.
Maybe we can get a...
There we go.
There we go. Yeah. So
but we still can't see the buy.
Yeah, you can see that the money is really flimsy for both sides there.
There we go. Now we can see that they've actually gone for a buy.
Yeah.
So 2 AWPs on deck. Lots of AKs onto both teams, actually. 2 AKs for Fnatic. I know flusha is a big fan of the AKs, even on the CT side. But he's rocking the M4 for now. So I guess the list of demands for AKs, he might not be the king of on the Fnatic side. So we've got 3 on the A site or long for the Fnatic team, and they've pretty much abandoned mid for the time being. JW holding a very nice angle onto karrigan, who has now left the building. Yeah, but not literally.
That's a pretty good shot there, and it looks like TQM are very committed to this B split. They're going to be making their way in right now, as JW is there with the AWP, but players are approaching his back, but KRIMZ has got him covered. This great support there from KRIMZ, holding down the flank as JW goes in to deal with the front of the bomb site. And, wow, very great reaction from Fnatic. And TQM are going to go for a tactical pause. They're really feeling the pressure at this point in time. So I have to see whether or not they can come up with something. If we look at their money right now, of course, they can't really afford to buy. With 3 players, they could have an okay buy, but are they going to want to do that? It's more likely they're going to want to it's essentially assure a situation where everyone can buy and put Fnatic on 14 rounds. But as you can see, they just had one round as well. So that means they're going to get $1,900 from this situation. their second round loss bonus, which will give them a decent amount of cash to buy with. But they have to decide what to do with it. And I don't know that there's been any clear solutions against Fnatic.
Do you think they're willing to do 3 AKs, Galil, no helmet?
It depends. I mean, it really depends on whether they just think that they need an AWP to win.
dupreeh could rock the deagle. I like to have a little
like tactical
using some courtesy.
The strat book.
Yeah, I respect that.
The strat book comes out.
Nobody likes to, you know, drink on camera, or if you're Japanese, blow your nose in public.
Indeed, it's. I can see karrigan, the in-game leader, there, talking with his team, barking out the orders.
Discussing how long it will take them to receive their dinner in the hotel.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
most
like
likely,
2 hours, 1 hour, hour and a half a day. Go for the omelette, chaps. Mine was half an hour. Let's go. Okay, so we are going to see soon if there is a buy. We are definitely into the game. There we go. So they have indeed gone for it. They managed to get 4 AKs, actually. There we go. Yeah, dupreeh hasn't bought any armor. I thought perhaps they would put dupreeh on a deagle, for example, and throw a Galil to someone. But they've managed. But they've gone for the big guns with no armor instead. karrigan going to be the sacrificial lamb, so to speak, on the Tech 9. So QuestionMark wanting some nades. They've got quite a few flashbangs here and 2 smokes. Could there be a wall of smoke coming in on the A site? They're all there apart from one. There's 1 smoke's been deployed, which could be suggesting a fake. Not sure exactly where it went. But there we go. The second one's going to be on to CT spawn, so they can jump down if they want to. JW shooting into a barrel of fish. They're going to get the first frag. Olofmeister getting another one. JW coming in with a flashbang to try and slow down the push. And indeed, no one's made it anywhere near the site for QuestionMark. They've been wiped off the map. Only Olofmeister going down, and Fnatic won't care about that. What a solid hold from Fnatic.
Yeah, that should be game, basically. You look at, oh, not game, sorry, but the map, as it is map 1. As you can see, TQM, they don't have any money. They're just going to have to force buy it and hope for the best. Usually, a team will go... I mean, one of the stronger plays is to go for the short play. You can do a wall of smoke on the A bomb site and go for a short play. But it looks like they're all moving towards B, so there's the other option. And how successful is it going to be? We've got KRIMZ, who's pretty fast here. He's actually got the nade out. He's going to crouch in time. JW coming in from the back there with the AWP in hand. KRIMZ still alive. How is KRIMZ still alive? By the car position. KRIMZ is still alive. 3 frags later. The guy is still vertical and breathing. And JW as well is still alive because they were so focused on KRIMZ by that car position. No idea how he managed to live through all of that.
He was super lucky not to go down to the first player there. If he goes down, if he doesn't go down to the first player, then the hold is solid, and the hold was solid. Looks like Fnatic should take the first game here. As you can see, what QuestionMark have in the kitty, and it's not much. Kitty's almost dead. There's a push from Fnatic on short as well with 2 players. JW is just hitting everything. Now we've got the 2 QuestionMark players in lower tunnel. JW doesn't seem quite done yet. Just standing in the smoke at the moment with flusha covering his high.
Going to actually be able to escape there, which is pretty cool for JW. At least he's going to be able to get more shots off because of that into middle. And you can see they're quite close. They're really tempted to try to go for him in this position, considering the fact that he's so darn close to the doors. But it's not actually going to be the case just yet. As we will see right now, the flash finally coming in for the push, potentially, but they get warded away. And karrigan is looking for the scout shenanigans by Catwalk with that jump action. It's a bit of an incendiary to push him forwards, actually. Olof has spotted him, and he'll just pop his head there like a cherry. And now it's going to be olofmeister just tapping him down. And a bit of spray to finish things off. And that will be the rounds. And the map, 16-10, Fnatic. Definitely look like the better team, I think, through the majority of this one.
Yeah, and it's good to see Olofmeister coming back into the game. I thought he would have a better performance against TSM. Now he had the entire team had a relatively good match against Titan, and indeed we're seeing that lots of multi-frags for Olofmeister and co. So a solid hold. TSM tried to go all in there towards the end, didn't work out for them, and then the game was pretty much over. But it is a best of 3, so there's still lots to play for.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Again, I'm going to echo your thoughts there on olofmeister. Generally speaking, was pretty shocked at the beginning of the day with his performances, but I can actually get KRIMZ's perspective here, just gunning them all down over by B. But yeah, it's good to see that Fnatic are springing back into action. I'll have to see how things go on the next map, but you can never really count out either team, to be honest. They both know each other really well. That's another thing that's going into this. Like, you know, the Dust2 success that the TQM have had in the past, it's large. I wouldn't say it's necessarily been figured out, but people are kind of used to the, you know, some of the more kind of TQM style plays that no one else does, that they kind of innovated.
Yeah. The next map is going to be Mirage. Do you have a favorite for that? I mean, Fnatic will be playing it as well, but obviously TSM are historically a strong team on Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fnatic, I'm going to mirror Yank, because Yanko said, you know, he feels like the team that wins the first map probably wins the second one. I do feel like right now, Fnatic looking a bit better, and because JW is so on, when JW is playing really well, the Mirage game, you know, rockets up. KRIMZ has been pretty solid, but also olofmeister is really coming back into play. I feel like Fnatic are pretty good for this, but again, it's pretty hard to say at this point. So that's my prediction, I guess, Fnatic.
Okay, I'm not going to give you one. Instead, we're going to go to a break, and then we'll go to the analysts. See you in a few minutes.
E-Gaming Bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
Extra CSGO skins. Do you want to win really cool things? Visit csgofast.com. Place your bets and win really cool skins. csgofast.com. Check your fortune.
Welcome back, guys. Fnatic draw first blood on Dust2. Pretty convincing as well. It's not often we see them be able to handle TSM and ex-TSM in quite that fashion on that map. 16-10, and that was a big lead or it looked like what was going to be a big lead for TSM. They had a momentum going for them, and suddenly Fnatic snapped them, and they only got 4 rounds after that.
I feel that this win from Fnatic was even more dominant than the score actually shows, because they lost both pistols. They were even down 5-0 in the first half, and they managed to pull it back and win 16-10 in the end. Usually when we see a team lose both pistols, they tend to lose the match as well, because it's so hard when these top teams play each other to recover after an early deficit, because usually your economy is in trouble. The other team has the confidence, has all the resources they need, and they can switch things around, and you always have to keep guessing where they are. But yeah, great individual performance from Fnatic players, and they managed to win it.
Well, one player that stuck out the most, and you can see him, it's just scrolling through. I've got the score app here on my phone, which you guys can download too. It was JW, who hasn't necessarily been on the AWP, at least in the last part of 2015. In fact, it was a team decision to pull him off that. We thought, okay, 2016, we've had the holidays to reset. He had 27 kills and was dominating the first half with that AWP.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was absolutely very good with the AWP. And I think the first side, because we've been making all this point about cajunb, the car on Dust2, I think this whole side was about progressively solving the cajunb equation. You know, it was like 06, cajunb was working into place, and then suddenly Fnatic found the solution with smoke, utility-based tactics on A.
I think I'm not 100% sure that was. what I actually initially thought when I saw this, that's why I pointed when you were talking. You were
Yeah,
like,
I realized
what
something was
they were
wrong.
trying to do was that maybe that was like the map best in terms of who's the best been the best on Dust throughout the day. Maybe was that like the.
But
other
it was
thing we
still
could see?
incorrect because JW had 23 frags on
Yeah,
that
and he had
graph, I
27,
think.
and they've played it twice. I don't know what that was.
New team, guys. It's announced.
Yeah,
Done.
the whole Titan roster thing, that's going to change the whole landscape.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other aspect was Dennis was up there with him, and Dennis was a little bit slow this morning. Those two guys, single-handedly, I think were well into almost 20 frags apiece, and the other 3 players on Fnatic still were in the single digits. The other aspect that I want to touch on, too, and I don't know maybe if Flusha's
Here we are.
whatever he has. There we go. This is updated.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go to this then, since we've got this now, and I'll come back to the other point. So JW 27, Dennis 19. That's exactly the point. I'm impressed that Olof, obviously his CT side was brilliant, that he caught up because he was at like 8 frags when Dennis was at 17 or something silly like that. So impressive from him.
Definitely, and you can also see, we talked about it, you know, how Cajun is probably going to be at the car every time, but I was surprised that they actually switched it up at some point, and you can see Dennis was the guy that did that, you know, fast cat take without any resources, basically, and he was actually surprised when he saw the shoulder of a TQM player, but still he had enough time to switch to his rifle, kill both players that were cat, kill the third player who was coming back from mid or long on rotation, and you know, that was actually a round where I don't think Fnatic had a lot of money, so it was an important round. And when you have players who are able to basically, you know, open up a site all by themselves and then win you a round all by themselves, then it's really hard to deal with that.
So the point that I was going to make as well is the 2 in-game leaders. They were in a battle of their own, and it was the battle of which one was going to bottom frag, because those 2 guys were significantly behind. I don't know if flusha, if there's something wrong with the BIOS where we're on a different dialect or alphabet here, that his little inputs aren't working, but he only had 7 frags. And on the other side of that, karrigan, and who's normally instrumental as well on the A-hold, not so much quite the same dynamic as Ipix and cajunb. He's normally the guy that anchors long. He only had 6 kills throughout the entire game. I mean, when you can't control a key point like long, I mean, how much of an issue is that?
No, but I mean, to be fair, Fnatic put really a lot of effort into controlling short and then taking over A from short with the smoke tactic and stuff. And this is very difficult to play long when you do so, because you're going to see either one player, maybe 0, and then you have to hope you can get some frags when you retake the site. So this is one of those very difficult games, because I've been playing long. I've been there, done that.
Yeah, you know
it's
it,
terrible.
yeah.
It's terrible that you don't see anyone, and all you got to do is back up and hope you can kill someone. But obviously, Fnatic were very good organized how they will hold the backup. So I mean, that could be an explanation why karrigan didn't have so much frags, because he had no real duel. It was more about trying to retake the site for him because of the emphasis on short from Fnatic.
And it's not just that, it's also if Cajun dies with his op, then karrigan is in big trouble, because you will have Fnatic has control of the site. You have JW with his AWP from site controlling long, and there's as a long player with a rifle, when the sniper's holding, you know, position from site, you basically can't do anything at that point. You have to wait for your teammates to draw attention from short.
Yeah,
I mean,
which
I
is
don't
a
want
good
to. I
rotation.
think we're putting a little bit too much emphasis on TQM's CT side. I don't actually think that their CT side was that bad. It was just their T side that was just lacking completely. They were not even, you know, playing their T side essentially. Nothing worked on their T side at all.
And they won pistols.
Yeah, exactly. One pistol, but nothing worked, right? And then so like the seat side was fine. I mean, I couldn't really see that much of an issue there. They were up 5-0, ended up being 6-2, and then Fnatic crawled their way back, right? But then switching over on TQM's T side, that's when you started to see the issues that occurred, right? You saw olofmeister getting fired up, getting you know, locking down the B bomb side. Also, KRIMZ was up there as well, and then it doesn't really help that JW has 7 entry frags, right? It probably topped
Yeah, that doesn't
the
help
server
at
there
all.
as well. It's like that's insanely impressive from his end. And, like comparing to Device, only had 3, right? So switching over on their T side, nothing really worked for them. They tried. You saw a tactical pulse there as well. Tried to be some B pushes, didn't really work out. Got locked down. The round that they actually won was the catwalk play there, and that's right after timeout again. They tried the same thing, and they Fnatic just shuts them down again completely. And didn't really have an answer to Fnatic's defense.
We haven't really touched on it. Obviously, we've mentioned it. We just went by the holidays, which is the longest break. Fnatic came into this really slow. Are we seeing them sort of wake up over this? And how much effect, you guys are all 3 of you are former players, how much does this effect, you know, just taking a full break from the game really have when it's sort of a 2-week to 3-week window that they weren't really competing in?
I mean, I think that, especially for Fnatic's end, they have been playing. And I don't think to be fair, when you're at a tournament like this and it's a lot of money on the line and you're here to compete, I don't see that as an excuse at all. I mean,
No, but just to the point, I guess it's not an excuse, but like they were slow in the morning and now they're waking up. Is that just off chance of this tournament, or do the holidays actually have a play on that?
Oh no, I mean, I'm sure the holidays do have some effect to it, right? Because it's the first tournament of the year. You haven't been to to a tournament in a while, and you got to get into a groove again. And I think one of the issues as well is when you have a team like Fnatic now without Pronax, you're gonna have off games because you're not gonna have that in-game leader that's gonna be helping you out, right? And you saw here this game, flusha was not having the best of times, right? And flusha is normally the guy you rely on on Fnatic. And I think we're gonna see this more and more now when he actually transitions more into the in-game leader role, where he will have these games where he's not gonna show up at all. And that's not something that we're used to seeing from flusha, but it's gonna happen.
Well, it's been actually a theme throughout the day. Shifting gears a little bit then, Mirage. They struggled. That's another one today that they struggled on that has been traditionally the map. TSM picked it in this one. It was kind of reverse of what we've seen in the past. It was actually Dust 2 picked by Fnatic. Going into this, Olof was slow to get rolling. You talked about it actually, that EnVyUs made changes to shut him down with Happy on the op. From your perspective, seeing it from Envy and being behind Envy this morning, what does Fnatic have to change to beat TSM on that map here?
Their city side, quite clearly. I mean, from my perspective behind Envy, it was too easy for us to take control of the map, take control of the connector, take control of short. For example, NBK was always able to sneak into ladder room, and from there he can control all the rotations. He can hear everyone rotating from kitchen to A or the other way around. So if TSM wants a chance again, or the other way around, if Fnatic wants a chance, they really have to shut down that middle. If they allow TSM, because TSM is also very notoriously known for taking over middle control, and they have extremely powerful A split from the connector. So if Fnatic allows TSM to take all the middle, that's going to be extremely difficult for them.
I'm interested to see if KRIMZ can be his usual self and lock down the connector. We're just about to get into it then. Good final thought. I think that's a really important aspect and a good way to lead into it because that's something everyone can keep an eye on. Any change in predictions after seeing the first map?
No, I mean, I did say 2-1. I said 2-0 if they win the first map, but now it's going to be a 2-1. I think that if TQM actually managed to win Mirage, I think we're going to actually see TQM just take away the series.
I'm going to stick with my prediction that whoever wins the first map is going to win the both of them, especially how weak TQM's T side looked on Dust 2. And playing against Fnatic with so many explosive players, skilled players, I think they're going to get punished for it on Mirage, and I think it's going to be 2-0 for Fnatic.
I was going for 2-1, but I was giving actually Dust 2 to TQM. So now that Fnatic actually took it, I'm going to go 2-0, and for me, Fnatic is going to take this map and the series.
Yeah, I think that what we saw, and you guys have put me on the spot, so I have to do predictions this week. So here we go. I think that what we just saw, obviously, is TQM. That like you said, Janko, that 16-10 was not that indicative of what we saw. I think that was one of the most comprehensive beatings that Fnatic's put on TQM, and I just don't think they're in this series, whether it's being exhausted or anything else. But that said, we'll jump into it. I think Fnatic's got it. We'll see what the casters think. DDK and James, it's all yours.
Hello. So 1-0 to Fnatic, going into Mirage now. Excuse me, my cable's a bit short there. So do you have, okay, just so unprofessional. Cable in the wrong place. Got to have the cable behind the shoulder, of course. Who do you think is going to take this one?
Oh, like I said, I'm sticking with Fnatic.
Yeah?
Yeah. We did this, James.
I know, but I want to ask you again, Dan, because we're waiting for the match to start. What else am I supposed to do? That's why I'm criticizing, now I'm asking you questions. Would you like to ask me a question, Dan?
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Right now? Possibly mango.
No, last week, James. Okay.
I didn't have ice cream last week.
Really?
So it probably hasn't changed. Right now, I'm fancying a bit of mango.
All right, well,
as
far as this map goes, generally it's going to be for me all about Fnatic when they're playing well. I mean, Maniac said it there actually. One of the things that was always pretty key for me about Fnatic's play on this map was their ability, of course, to hold on to middle and not to give up too much from teams that are good at taking middle away. And as was mentioned by Maniac on the desk, those A splits can be quite troublesome from a team like TQM. And KRIMZ is on point, and they mix in the right timings for mid takes, because Fnatic have a few mid take setups with multiple players, They used to do this a lot with Pronax when he was in the lineup, and he was very, very good. He would be one of the supporting players in that 3-man play. I would love to see that. I would love to see Fnatic being very dominant on mid on their CT side, but we'll have to see how it goes because these two teams have played each other so many times that an element of knowing one another can come into it, and then you have this kind of separate metagame that's unique to that matchup, which is why domestic matchups can be kind of crazy. And it's like, well, we know each other so well, we wouldn't do our normal thing because we know how that team plays against that, and you get into this like double bluff situation. So, well, it looks like we'll be kicking off with knife round, and we'll have to see whether or not Fnatic are able to start on that CT side, so we get to see that dominant mid play that I'm after.
Oh, JW how has he not killed him? He's hit him at least 4 times there, surely. He'll have to lament that one if his team were to lose. Oh, olofmeister's failed to jump, but he's got enough life, and I actually casted half the knife round. But what am I doing with my life?
I don't know, mate. I wasn't casting knife round. I was talking about
I was just in shock at how JW failed to kill that guy after swiping him so many times.
The hedgehog makes the appearance.
But there we go. Such is life. That
KRIMZ
calendar's grown over the week.
Well, KRIMZ's beard has grown.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
I mean, Edward has...
how low can your beard go?
Edward has removed his beard. He was one of the beard kings. Perhaps KRIMZ is looking to step into the spotlight there now.
Is KRIMZ still full cue ball, though? That's the main question. That's the question we all really want to know.
I think he is.
Is he still full cue ball? Fnatic starting on the CT side. The Danes will be starting on the T side. I think TQM are more than capable of winning this map.
Oh, you're making a prediction now, are you?
My prediction is that they're more than capable of winning the map, Dan. But then so are Fnatic, so technically it's not a prediction.
I really hate when you do this. All right, moving into the pistol round, and we do have 4 Kevlars for Fnatic, and you can see they're playing very heavily into retakes here, and we'll have to see whether or not TQM can actually make this push work on the side. They're actually going to get the initial kill, but flusha's there to take down the lurker. So that's karrigan gone. And we get the retake in from... Oh, what a shot there. Olofmeister catching cajunb in the head as he leaps forward to try to get the bomb down, but that's not going to happen. It's been delayed a little bit. 4 versus 3 in favor of Fnatic.
They can't really plant the bomb just yet because KRIMZ is in CT, but he's moved to a passive position which will allow the bomb to go down. KRIMZ has got the kid as well, and we're down to a 2 versus 2 now. dupreeh trying to get an angle onto Dennis there, but Dennis is going to get the headshot. That's the team cleared up. There's a Tech 9 to be picked up somewhere, I'm sure. KRIMZ is looking for it at the moment. So karrigan was set up for a raid boss there, actually. I'm not sure where they were planning to plant the bomb, presumably towards, for a short plant. He was coming from mid, but he got taken down there. The Tech 9 got picked up, and it's being carried into this round by Fnatic, who have won the pistol. Yenka pointed out that actually Fnatic lost both pistols in the previous map, yet still came out on top by a reasonable margin. So... we will see if they can do even better now that they've won the pistol, the first pistol of this second map.
Yeah, the main problem... oh, this is actually interesting. TQM, despite getting the bomb planted, are going for a force buy and spending all the money instead of going for the 3rd round AK buy, and this will be a huge surprise for Fnatic. We'll probably be expecting the AKs, but can they defend against this execute? So far, so good here for TQM. They've got 4 players left alive. The bomb is now down. Fnatic need to get themselves all 3 through shop, and that's going to be difficult now the smoke goes down. Although Dennis is in, he gets immediately traded. So looks like this should be a strong defense here. But can the remaining players from Fnatic make it happen?
JW has a scout, which is going to be extremely hard to support his teammate with. Only Zupex is vulnerable to that at the moment, unless the headshots come in. The time's running out as well, so they pretty much have to make an exit. I suppose they might be trying to stop these players from exiting the site with any guns. So it's just a FAMAS alive now with KRIMZ. It's going to do some good damage. Is dupreeh going to survive? That Tech 9, oh, there we go. The running accuracy of the Tech 9, still absurdly more accurate than the other pistols in the map. Picked up from the pistol round from the T's will pay off there for KRIMZ.
Yeah, that's really cool to see. It's not very common that teams go for the force up. They haven't seen that for a while. Weirdly, well, I guess there's been a bit of a break from tournaments. So anyway, it's really good to see that TQM had an execute. off of the bomb plant there instead of just waiting for the third round AK-47 buy, which is, you know, so typical. So right now we're going to have TQM in a good spot, all AKs, and the force buy comes in for Fnatic. But dupreeh already removing the presence of olofmeister on middle is going to give a lot of options now for TQM as they have free reign across the entirety of the map.
Yeah, so Fnatic have no vision of the mid area, putting 2 on each site, but the bomb's still left in a passive position and will be for a while. karrigan going to pick it up now, but which way will he head? Most of the meat and potatoes of his team are over towards A, and he is going to join them now they have a player in Delpan who I'm sure will soon move towards that connector position. That said, it seems that JW is on short, so that could be a problem as this round proceeds. And you can see that there are 2 Fnatic players deep onto the A site, so JW's been taken down in shorts, which means the split is going to be fairly solid. All the QuestionMark players alive, 2 coming in from mid.
Yeah, Dennis can't really get the defense going there. And we've got KRIMZ who's there to pick up the pieces with the FAMAS. He's actually doing a decent job here, and this is going to stop TQM from going up the pit. They want the support, but there's 45 seconds left. They realize that there's time to go towards the other site instead of moving into like a really advantageous engagement for KRIMZ. For KRIMZ on the side, they're just going to go straight to B. A smart play. kajunb's got middle, so that when the rotation comes, he'll be able to do a lot of damage to Fnatic. You are trying to work out what the hell's going on. But TQM look pretty strong in this situation, to say the least, and you can't really like Fnatic's chances now the bomb's going down on B.
Indeed, I think they might have an opportunity for flusha to pick up a better gun. I can only assume there's something better than a scout lying around somewhere. We'll see if he can find it. KRIMZ with only 9 HP, he's definitely going to be saving. Indeed, flusha is currently in CT spawn, so it seems he might play for an exit and try and pick something up. But yeah, early trades and rounds from these 2 teams. QuestionMark looking to take the lead now. Surviving potentially with 4 players as well. Will be a plus. Yeah,
we could perhaps look at the money now. There it is. And you can see the situation for Fnatic. Because we will have 2 weapons saved, but one of them is a scout. They could decide to try to force it up here. It's not going to be ideal, but they can keep the pressure going. And some teams, do like to do that. Of course, EnVyUs, they're a big fan of that sort of play. It's not for every team. Obviously, you have to do something that's comfortable for you. It requires a very high degree of skill to pull it off because the risk element is very high, and even if you don't win the round, you need to be able to guarantee damage. So, Fnatic are a team that have the skill, but do they have the comfort in that sort of play? We'll have to see. It looks like they are going to go with more or less a full save behind this. JW getting palmed off a CZ from a teammate.
So we saw aggression from Envy on Mirage, pushing through B, pushing through mid, and so on. I do wonder if we're going to see that from Fnatic's CT side in this match later on, once their economy is secured. For the moment, definitely not secured. It's QuestionMark leading the charge with all the AKs. Fnatic with the 1 AK, the 1 scout, and a few pistols here and there. Passive play so far. QuestionMark just sitting on the map control they have. Again, they've got a player in the Delpan position who's now moving back to top mid. And it seems the play could be A as the lurker towards, sorry, B as the lurker towards A is now moving away from the site. So it seems they may just go for a bum rush and trade with what they must assume are just the 2 pistols, the rifles, excuse me.
Yeah, I love this. This is fantastic. It's great for Fnatic that they got KRIMZ in position here, but this execute is a nice anti-force buy or anti-eco type of play. KRIMZ is the man here, and olofmeister, whoa, he's going to be getting huge damage there. A frag, a massive dink, but where is the fragging from the rest of his team? flusha will find the dropped AK from KRIMZ's corpse, but KRIMZ was not able to get anything from his position. Fnatic had a lot of opportunities there thanks to olofmeister and the AK being on the bomb site, but they could not capitalize in the end. So, I mean, JW will be able to pick up the AK, but he's not got any armor on him to speak of. However, Fnatic, they did not buy anything. It was just the players that had saved. So if the AK is saved here, actually, by JW, if he actually keeps that alive, they can actually buy next round. Because they'll get $2,400 in addition to what you see here. So that's going to put them all around the 4,400 to 5K mark. And with the AK in addition, that means that JW could actually be... Someone could drop an ult for him, I think. I doubt that they will because you really want everybody to have armor and hopefully nades as well. But it's a buy. It's a buy, guys. It's a buy. We like buys. Terrorist win. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. You got to question how worth it that is. That's one of those spots where.
Well, he should get the kill. That shouldn't happen.
Well, I think there's two ways to argue it. You either want to like, because as soon as the guy starts fighting him, his chances to win the fight, if that guy's not already dead, go down massively because he's got no Kevlar.
Yeah, but he's exposed. He can't really just start running away at that point. He's committed to the fight.
Well, either way, the buy will still come in for the side.
Ooh, we've got a sneaky boost coming over the top. You can see maybe, I think he was just trying to spray through the smoke for people crossing. That smoke can be tricky because sometimes people creep towards the right-hand side of it, if you're looking at it from T perspective, to when there's a gap in the smoke. Sometimes they go to the left and go towards Delpan, and sometimes they boost over the top, so it can be a bit tricky. olofmeister looking for a gap in the smoke to punish a potential boost. There is indeed a boost, but who's going to see who first if they both hold their position? Ooh, the dupreeh going to punish the spray there. The trace is going to give olofmeister's position away. Always got to be careful about that when you're shooting through smoke.
Yeah, so now Fnatic didn't have any nades left. 4 players left, though. And the situation is, do you go very passively, 2 to a bomb site? Do you gamble players onto a bomb site? Let's say, stack 3 or 4 to one site and just, try to hope that your opponents go there? Or do you go for the third option, which is make an information play somewhere? Depends on the positioning of the players. Oh, Device nails flusha straight in the face with the AWP. The jump spot will be the end of flusha's life in this round, and the rest of the weapons should be safe from Fnatic's perspective. So this actually kind of worked out because this was essentially kind of the stack option. Stack 3 on this site, and obviously they sack 1 player for the information. And at least 3 can survive. 1 can die, but 3 can live. A noble cause.
Would you die so 3 could live?
Yes. Depends who those 3 were, James, if I'm honest.
So Sadicus, Henry G, and Thorin.
Well, what do you expect me to say
story.
there? Obviously, I would not die for those cretins.
Hesitation told the whole story there. Well, we'll see what they think about that later on. Although in fairness, no one's ever seen Thorin play Counter-Strike, so we have no idea where he lies. Unfortunately, we've seen Sadicus play Counter-Strike. 3-round lead for QuestionMark now. Fnatic not having the greatest of starts to their CT side. Their T side is going to have to be on point if this continues. Otherwise, we may be here for a little while longer. We've got some nades flying in, but no significant damage done to anyone just yet. 2 players top mid for QuestionMark. They've got pretty good map control at the moment, considering JW still in the CPL window. Only an AWP onto the T side, however, so they will be handicapped in that respect. Also handicapped because flusha only has a deagle at the moment. Device, surely he saw the back of Dennis there. Perhaps not.
So we have the bomb towards the B apartments, and it's actually now moving its way back towards T spawn. So we'll have a bit of a fake play coming in here from the TQM side as they plan to finish onto the A bomb site with a plant. Let's see how successful that's going to be. As far as the setup is working, Fnatic have a very, very nice defense here with 2 players close on the A site. So that means if the smokes go down, the counter flashes will be immediately active for Fnatic, and they'll be able to abuse those straight away, as there won't be players, or the CTs won't be too far away from the flash players to capitalize. And Dennis is there, a bit of an off angle towards the apartments. And what do they expect here? So there's 1 frag. Will there be a rotation? Not just yet. Fnatic still holding. They're holding. There's a kill from olofmeister, trusting him to do the damage on the B site. So now the play is known as the TQM players move in for the kill. And wow, Dennis making a really wide peek there. He will die because of it, but his teammates are more than willing to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, so the fake has not worked out for QuestionMark here. karrigan alone in the cold world with an AWP, which he will save for the following round. But that is all they have available to them. We will see what QuestionMark will do after this floaty camera.
So the other thing as well for Fnatic at the moment is it's not really looking too bad just yet. They just need to get the ball rolling in the next 2 or 3 rounds to really have some comfort. And the AWP is on olofmeister, interestingly, and he's of course been playing the B apartments kind of position. KGB is very fast up the connector position. Now this could be interesting. Maniac already kind of highlighted that this could be happening from TQM. These very strong plays through onto the A bomb site from middle, and it's not working out. Fnatic are dropping these players like flies. Just dupreeh and Device left in this position now to try to make things happen. In fact, just dupreeh is actually on the bomb site. Device is rotating with the AWP, and dupreeh could really use the help at the moment. And Fnatic are waiting for the plant. They're not going to move until they hear those beeps, until those numbers begin to get punched in.
I think... Oh, okay, it's lower. That was smoked off. So, Device, can he make a connection with this AWP? It seems they don't know where he is because you can see half the team focusing away from the A side. olofmeister gets taken down by Device, who gets all the way out. And dupreeh's going for the plant here. Is KRIMZ going to go for the peak? No, he's going to let the plant go down and go for the 3 versus 2 retake. Got the flashbangs coming in from Device. That's just a smoke, actually. So a nicely done smoke from Palace to the top of the connector stairs, which is going to help protect dupreeh as well. Very smart play.
Nicely done by Device. And he's got himself a second one now. There's still 2 players left alive. There's the push. Device gets himself the 3rd and the 4th. Quad kill coming in. Big stuff there from the man, Device. Now, the amazing thing there for me was that Fnatic played that so safe. They let the bomb go down because the only player to deal with it, he realized that Device would be aiming there. So if he would have tried to peek to capitalize, Device would have hit him with an AWP shot. It's actually on his teammates from the connector side to actually push in, but that's very hard to know. So that was amazing, that save.
Genius. That smoke was absolutely genius because if he gets up those stairs, dupreeh's pretty much going to get wrecked, and then the round probably goes to Fnatic. So that smoke was money.
It also gives Device the freedom, a lot more freedom here to aim down these on these tighter angles. And there's only kind of one plane to worry about. It's really nicely done by Device. Wow.
And you could, again, QuestionMark with considerable control over mid. They've got a player at the top, player down the bottom. Fnatic reduced to pistols in this round. Dennis with a bit more cash in the bag, going to be going for the Kevlar along with the CZ. So let's see how QuestionMark's anti-eco is. Passive position held by Zipex towards the A site. Now going to start moving into Palace as Device has a peek towards lower, but he is going to be alone with the AWP, so he'll be vulnerable in that sense. dupreeh, though, going to make quick work of olofmeister on short, so the support for Device may be coming in. There is one player close to the slope, though, which is Dennis. You can see flusha playing that sneaky position, but with a USPS, it's going to be really hard to get a kill in that position.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Now, we'll have potentially a clean round here from TQ. That's a really big deal. Fnatic are kind of running out of opportunities now to have a good half. Now, I'm quite curious what the money actually looks like. I want to see the money and how the bonus is for Fnatic at the moment, so we can actually extrapolate what kind of buys that are possible and rounds that are possible in the near future for them to outline how things could go. We could check the scoreboard. I'm
guessing the observer is with the Ukrainians, considering we're streaming in 3 languages, Dan.
That's a good point.
So your requests are falling on deaf ears.
That's a good point. Because it happened before we asked for it, and I guess that was just luck.
That was divine intervention, Dan.
Divine providence.
As we are still being subjected to these floaty cams every time we want to discuss the buy that we indeed cannot see.
Yeah, because
tomorrow though we'll have a game PC set up.
I can see some guns. Okay, so
or I'm going to dive through the stage projection and just ruin the whole event.
So we can actually see an AWP there on, I think it was olofmeister, and he had didn't have the best spawn in the world. So yeah, Olof's with the AWP. So they have managed to scrap together a buy, but this is really the crucial one then, because if they lose this, yeah, it is an eco or quasi buy, and then TQM are kind of already close enough to 8 rounds. That can't really happen if Fnatic want to actually win this map. So let's see what the impact can be. It's great timing nade onto Device, beautiful timing there, and that's really nice. Now, actually, for you guys at home to play like Counter-Strike, one thing you should understand is the running time and the walking time to a lot of spots, so that you can do timing nades just like that. Because it's always better to preemptively throw an HE than reactively throw one. As if you do it reactively, the other guy will know that you're going to be throwing it.
Indeed. Ooh, just running past the angle is Dennis. Device getting caught short. And that is another AWP in the hands of Fnatic. A desperately needed advantage for the Swedish side. They need to get a lot more rounds on the board here. 4-round deficit with 8 rounds in the hole. Not very good at all. Dennis will spot some players, but he can't make a connection. That is a fatal one. karrigan's going to tap him down. JW coming in to try and do work. He's going to fall. KRIMZ with only 1 frag, but all the Fnatic players are falling around flusha, who finds himself in a 1 versus 3. He's in CPL. It's still doable, but by no means is it going to be easy. dupreeh is going to have a very crucial position looking through connector as well, which crushes the options of flusha. He'll be aware that he can't really face that position. Looking for it, and he will find it. dupreeh to take him down.
Okay, so TKM's just winning that round. We can see the money here, which is great, so I'm going to quickly try to memorize everything, because it's probably not going to be there for very long.
There is a pause in.
Okay, but I would also like to know how many rounds that they've lost in a row now. Judging by how much money that they had there, I would that would be they had some of them had just less than 2,900. So that probably means that that'd be the 3rd round loss bonus, meaning that the next one's going to be 2,900. And if they, so that means at best they can buy a few pistols, and within the range of a $500 expense for most players, and then be able to have 4,500 to 5K on upon losing this round, going into the next round. So the buys are going to be still pretty strained, but we should expect nothing more, I think, than, unless I've messed up the math completely and or the guesses completely, should expect nothing more than a few pistols as the expense here for Fnatic. But TQM, they're really having a great half so far. What a T side we're seeing out of them.
Looking back over the FACEIT League, the FACEIT season over last year, Mirage was a stronghold map for CSM for the most part of it. They had great performances there. karrigan holding down connector with the AWP and so on and so forth. So, definitely not one to be counted out despite the first game in this best of 3. But by no means is the map won. Fnatic have been a thinking team this weekend, despite some, not always matching it in individual performance. It was quite an enjoyable match of Inferno actually versus Titan.
We're getting a shot of Vigo, the coach there. I thought for a second the quality just to our stream just went to crap or something, because you zoomed into the game and okay, what's just happened? But it's just Vigo's screen. CRT mode. Yeah, exactly. That would have been really fun. It's like the colors, guys, the aspiration. Oh my god, what's going on? But yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see what Fnatic decide to respond with. And this is the annoying thing, is on the CT side, it's quite hard to do that. Of course, there's actually a lot of options on this map, and indeed, I was actually spot on with the expense of Fnatic, so I'm quite proud about that. But
oh, look at the counter flashes there to stop the push from the Fnatic players. 3 players with pistols in mid, and mid has now been abandoned by QuestionMark. So Fnatic's plans are in ruins, in tatters. Ooh, olofmeister just gets sent into some weird yoga mode on the B-bomb site. He is definitely dead.
Yoga dead.
JW in the ladder room is not going to be able to do much while his teammates die around him, because he is smoked off. So looks like he's going to go for the boost. dupreeh should see as soon as it comes up. Those warning shots will slow them down. Really, there's not much for Fnatic to do apart from try to steal a gun here. Dennis trying to bait for JW, but they would have wished it was the other way around, as Dennis is the man of the deagle here. So it's a nothing round for Fnatic. Just taking pot shots. Sad state of affairs for the Swedish side.
Yeah, and I love how TKM are keeping it safe. There's nothing to be gained by killing the Fnatic players. Get rid of a deagle, that's great. The risk is someone dies. Nice. So the cost efficiency there is just awful. So it's good that they didn't bother. So yeah, we are seeing that 4,500 to 5K. Area there for Fnatic, and that's going to be enough to pull out an AWP. And we've got a good spawn on JW, actually, as I can see him closest towards the A side of the map. And so he could go for a push onto the connector, or he could go onto the bench. I think he's onto bench. Yeah, he's on JW's peeking bench onto slope. But it looks like TQM have moved 3 players and the bomb in B apps with a bit of harassment potential towards the middle and apartments area. And that's important because even if you plan to finish on B, you want to try to provide presence, because what it does is it creates an element of doubt. So that, and what that doubt does is it slows rotation. So it's kind of something that you want to do even if you plan on just going for the B rush anyway, with a set play. So I like this from TQM. And they also get the opportunity, if one of these players gets on the outset gets a kill, that they can change their play mid-round. So let's see how it develops. Okay, so they are going in with the grenades now, double Molotov there. And the double Molotov is important because they actually stack the Molotovs, the damage goes double if there's 2. So you get pretty fried if you were caught in there. But we do get the spot from flusha now, so Fnatic starting to wonder what's going on. But they're not making a call yet because they're seeing a player towards A. Whereas the spot, they need a spot on the bomb, but this might be too late actually. All 4 players coming in at once. dupreeh with the entry, and now flusha's got his back against the wall with the scout. And look how far away the other players are from Fnatic. The delay worked perfectly.
Yeah, this is a disastrous CT half from Fnatic. So back on the save, but Zipex is still lurking, looking to eliminate these saving players. There goes JW, so KRIMZ is going to be the last man standing, and I think he's running around a little bit there, I'm not sure, but Zipex, if he was running around, Zipex will hear him, and judging by the movement of the TQM players, I think KRIMZ is soon to be dispatched, or soon to be finished, soon to be jettisoned into the sun, left in a sewer somewhere, and this is a B-bomb site. Nice.
Yeah, these, what are those like rusty metal shadows doing on the little canopy there? Anyway, we do have the 9-2 scoreline in favor of TQM. It's all about them in this half. Fnatic, they need a quasi buy, and there it is. You're going to see it them buying down to between 2K to 2,500 because they have, at this point, I would expect must be the max loss bonus of 3,400. So they can afford to do that and have over 5K in the next round for a buy. And they're going to go for an A play. KRIMZ is in there. He's going to spot. The bomb actually was spotted here. Oh, they can't quite catch a frag. Zipex almost died though. That's going to be huge for Fnatic, but I fear that TQM are going to recover very well from this point forward.
Not much going on for Fnatic, other than the stack. We'll see how far flusha can go. His team are positioned in the right place at the moment. Olofmeister can take some cursory peeks towards mid, but they should realize that it's going to be an A push, although they're all huddling towards connector now, and they don't really have those deep positions in A anymore. And with only pistols, I'm not sure if that's going to be good or bad. There are digs, so they're going to have some range, but those CZs may want to get close, get a fast blast, a quick frag, and pick up a superior weapon. You can see Dennis spotting, but not much damage being done just yet. Zipex down to 12 HP with the bomb, but the entire TQM team is here, starting to push now, and down goes KRIMZ. But look at the tags, Device, dupreeh, and Zipex. Surely Fnatic can do this. These CZs are going to be like negatives now against his team. flusha. Oh, this nade's going to be money. Kobe. 2 going down to 1 versus 1 now. Device has a smoke. He's in the apartment. He's got flashes as well, but his peak has to be perfect because he has next to no health. I have more fingers than he has digits of health, Dan, and my fingers are normal.
That's good to know. No mutations on James. Good to know. We have flusha. He's the man for the job with the CZ as well. The bomb is going to be tapped there.
It's going to be down to the 10-second defuse. He might not be able to win the round unless he gets a super fast frag like that.
Does, yeah. He's fine now, I think. It's going to be very tight, but I think he's got this.
It's going to be close,
it's okay.
like butter plays toast.
Biggie in the building.
Nice. That was pretty close. That was absolutely insane. Where did all that damage come from? I didn't even see the damage. Suddenly they were all within an inch of their lives.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was really gorgeous. And the nade, that nade made the difference as well. The double with that was very critical. So, honestly, just the headphones stand out there to me on JW. Just he's chosen the pink/purple headphones. Everyone else is the black ones. Anyway, that's a question of taste aside. We have Fnatic now with the AWP on JW. Can they salvage this half? Can they get the 6 rounds that they need? Connectors, they're trying to hold down Connector. Dennis is going to go down there after a trade. olofmeister's on the other end of it. Where is KRIMZ though? Where is the gatekeeper of that Connector area? He's all the way playing defensively by Toll Booth. What is happening at this point? Okay, sure, we get a team frag, but it looks like QuestionMark are just completely rolling over the A-bomb site. It is a 2-on-2, so 2-on-2 though, so there is definitely a chance here for Fnatic to win this round, but the problem for TQM is that they have to plant still, and JW is trying to get himself a very sneaky position to block a plant attempt, an open plant attempt.
There is a smoke on cajunb, and there's also a gun onto Device, who's shot flusha in the face. That's going to be even more advantageous. They can put that smoke down to the middle of the site as well, and they don't even necessarily have to react to it straight away, because JW could take some pot shots and reveal his position just by the smoke going down, but there we go. They're going to know where he is now, and the smoke is eventually going to be deployed, but the player is stuck in a shadow position. JW trying to go for the wall bangs, which are entirely doable with JWP here. He's found an M4 as well, but the spray's not coming in fast enough. Pop flash off the wall. We'll see what he can do with this. cajunb's not blind.
Really
JW is a good angle to not get flashed by cajunb either. More smoke's coming in eventually. Ooh, Device didn't have much health, but JW couldn't make the connection, and the loss bonus for Fnatic has been reset. We had a quick glance on the money there, Dan. We can see that the money is going to be a little bit ropey for them.
I missed it, actually. I missed it. You'll have to inform me.
It was maybe 2,000 to 2,500 for most players, so I think they've gone for the force buy here. Yeah, indeed, yeah.
Yeah, well, they've got. Well, I think they can do a quasi buy. They'll have the max loss bonus still, no?
No, they won the previous round. Yeah.
Oh,
this is
God.
a force buy.
That's awful.
No more quasis for you, mate.
Awful.
All the flashbangs coming in now. Karrigan to get the first frag, and the frags are going the way of TQM, the team with the superior weaponry. But now it's down to 1 versus 2. Everyone dancing. This is absolute madness. But TQM come out on top. That was Bedlam Anarchy. But QuestionMark 11-3. Fnatic now have not much to offer. They're going to be fighting with spoons in this last round of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to give something drastic, like a mid-rush as well, or something like that. I don't think they're going to sit back at this point. What we're going to see from them, we'll get to olofmeister jumping down in the underpass, so hopefully this, for them, that works out in some capacity. But this is a very expected play. A lot of players know how to do the perfect pop flash for olofmeister's position. You can bounce it off the stairs and just pop flash him.
Off the stairs.
As you jump down, which is pretty effective. I see Taz doing that all the time.
And IP tend to throw HEs down there instead of flashbang.
They want an explosive.
Which is pretty damn meaty if somebody's playing that close corner.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be very slow for TQM as they try to assess the situation. Yeah, you know, honestly, it'd be cool to see another B set play from them in a situation like this, but they have 2 AWPs, which is not really ideal for a round like this, but hey, it's the last round anyway, so... Problem is with the 2 AWPs is that the AWPs should be made to move. It's unlikely Fnatic are going to go for open peaks because their weapons are only good in close quarters. So they're going to try to close those close quarters down, and there you go, there's the drop. But Device is there to capitalize as they took down the short area as well pretty easily. So it's Fnatic losing all the position to hold this bomb site. It's now gone, and the round looks to be very likely TQM's.
Indeed, this is looking like a very likely 12-3. We've got 2 players coming in from the short position, and there is the conclusion of the half. So a very solid performance here from TQM. Not over yet by any means. We'll see if Fnatic can win the pistol. Worth noting, though, Fnatic did win the pistol round in this half, and they only got 3 rounds. They won the pistol, then they lost a lot of consecutive rounds after that. So pretty disastrous almost from the get-go. TSM with all the momentum now. Is that a hedgehog?
Mm-hmm.
Porcupine?
Yeah, he's always had a hedgehog. I think he's had that since Aspen, actually.
Did you bring little mascots around when in your Quake days?
No.
That sounds like an unsure no.
No, I didn't really bring any mascots around. I wasn't fond of those.
Okay. Right, well, TQM are going to have no defuse kit, and that is a very fast frag onto KRIMZ. Not the start that Fnatic wanted, not the start they were looking for. Maybe the start they deserved? I don't know.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one now because Fnatic down a man. they can't really play. You can't really just be this spread out at this point. You've got to be able to get in there. Got to be able to get the bomb rush going.
Device spotted a player in T-spawn. He got shot in the face, but again, the range allows him to survive. And there is cajunb spotting another player. He's going to get a headshot as well, down to 2 HP. They may need some help over here towards the A bomb site. The bomb's rotating that position as well. karrigan goes down, and now TQM are in some trouble.
This is actually working out for Fnatic. I'm very surprised. The bomb was insanely far away when they were all in the bomb site, but somehow they just hit all the shots there to make the frags happen. But still, there's a chance as dupreeh and Zipex come in on the retake. And these positions for Fnatic are pretty damn good, actually. They're all together, and that's going to be problematic for dupreeh as he's going to be facing multiple opponents. There should be an impossibility to create 1 versus 1s. And here he goes. He'll find the first player. The jump is going to be hard to deal with, and Fnatic win that one. I'm pretty surprised, actually. Their setup looked awful to begin with when they're down to 4 players, but they just hit the shots, and that's what pistol rounds are about. Just connect with the heads, and you can save any situation.
Okay, so we are back into the game. TQM going to be on a fairly solid eco. dupreeh spending a little bit extra cash, and they're going to go for that sneaky boost onto the B bomb site and more or less abandon everything else on the map entirely, actually. And it seems Fnatic are moving quickly towards the A site, so we'll see if they can discern that there's nobody over there. karrigan's looking into the back entrance of CPL. Meanwhile, Fnatic are basically going to split the A bomb site. Not seeing anybody just yet. They should realize that it's a stack towards B in no time at all. See the entrance towards connector, inner in sandwich now, and the rest of the site. So the swarm has begun, and the bomb should be planted for triple. It's a super open plant. karrigan getting a frag onto olofmeister. Behind the smoke, he should be able to pick up the gun as well. Indeed, he will. So he's got a Mac 10 to play with. Little does he know that Dennis is on the other side of the toll booth. We've got 3 CTs in CT, and that smoke can isolate Dennis somewhat. Still spamming with the T250, and Zipex has been abandoned behind the barrels and now is in an awkward position. 2 versus 3. And these CTs, can they get the kill onto Dennis? The cavalry has come in. The horse is stampeding the innocent CT player. Is going to be trampled in CT spawn. cajunb is making a run for it with an AK.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing Fnatic's answer to what they expect the defense to look like for TQM, especially when they get the AWPs rolling in, because you highlighted previously the capacity for the aggression from karrigan when he picks up an AWP, and he tends to do so situationally, and it's usually on CT sides. Sorry, it's usually on no, sorry. It can depend, but it's usually specifically on one side on a map. He doesn't usually tend to do it on both sides all the time. On Dust 2, for example, he'll pick it up on the T side, but he won't pick it up on the CT side, for example. It'll be cajunb and device. But anyway, we'll get a fast round here, so I need to shut up about that, as we have the Mac 10s rolling in with the AK-47s against the save of TQM.
Boost position is going to afford the CTs an extra kill, and now they're all dead.
Yeah, so just a full save there from TQM. They want a big buy, James, and here it is. The big buy.
Big juicy buy.
Oh yes.
It's a BJB.
The BJB.
Big juicy buy. Nice.
This buy is so sweet. They're going to get diabetes, James, from this. Look at the AWP. Look at the grenades.
Nice. This buy is so strong. It's increasing their resistance to insulin. That is astonishing.
All right, well, let's see what we can come to expect here. Wow, okay, so great nades coming in, and 3 frags happen before Fnatic can actually find positions to get picks. We get the nades, we get the peaks, and we get 3 kills. So Fnatic just pretty much shut out the round. The only way to deal with this is just to try to get some damage in. TQM's economy is not amazing. They've lost a bunch of rounds. They finally got their buy-in. Fnatic should have a buy, I believe, if they lose this one, unless I'm mistaken. Again, can't see the money, but I believe they have a buy-in. So it'd be worth it if they can get a couple frags. 2 or 3 frags, I think, is very worth it, because you cannot allow TQM to stabilize their economy. Because once that happens, karrigan's going to start taking risks with the AWP. Once that happens, if he's actually connecting his shots, it becomes quite difficult to deal with. If you keep their economy low and you keep the situation so that they don't want to take as many risks, then it's more predictable how to deal with them.
JW's in trouble. 9 HP, 40 seconds left. What is the play going to be? Bombs being collected. KRIMZ is in mid. It seems Fnatic may still try to do something with this round, perhaps. JW moving to mid as well. Not the safest position on the map, by any means. Let's see. There is karrigan deep towards B, which is perhaps where these players are headed. And if they walk on this angle, they're going to be in for a nasty surprise. karrigan going to inspect the microwave briefly. And it seems indeed Fnatic are just going to try and save in this position. Like a tricycle, Dan, with the little tassels on the side of the handlebars, QuestionMark's economy has been secured.
The funny thing there, right, is that karrigan moved into that position, and I don't know if he meant to or not, but he actually unscoped, and then I think he realized, he's like, oh, bugger, I can't scope again because they'll hear me. So he had to go for a no scope there. There was no other way really, which is quite funny. Anyway, we get the AWPs on both sides now. So TQM managed to survive with four players, and you can see that their economy's good, or in this round at least.
All good in the hood.
And look at the movement here from TQM. They got is that 2 players on short? I believe that it is 2 players on short. So this spells potential aggression. Let's have a look and see how this pans out. Okay, I think I was incorrect. One has gone into CPL now, so there's no one in connector here. Connector's pretty open actually.
Well, they have it from short at the moment,
yeah,
with Zipex keeping an eye on it. JW whiffing the shot towards slope. Unbeknownst to him, cajunb is pretty close. You can see dupreeh trying to hold an angle, but he will be without information at present. cajunb taking down JW on the slope, going back to the well one too many times perhaps. So he got a bit of a boost looking into short there. You can see Zipex still holding things down, but he's been forced off the angle, so he won't have vision of connector for a few seconds. There are no smokes though for Fnatic, save for that one just there, for them to move into connector without smoking it from one side or the other. So the entire Fnatic team just hovering around the mid area. What is the play going to be? You can see Zipex still holding an angle towards short.
The problem is that now there's no smokes left. So moving up connector is so hard, but they actually get the kill onto Zipex, and the player that's covering short, and now dupreeh as well. They've actually made this possible, but there's 30 seconds left in the round. Oh, Dennis, you massive beast. What a headshot there onto Device. That's going to create a quick entry now. cajunb needs to step up. He's the only way that his team can win this round, and he's going to go down. If he managed to get a kill, he could maybe have salvaged something, but no.
All the jewels.
And okay, so TQM played that so well. For a good minute and a quarter, they were able to basically waste all the grenades of Fnatic in middle. Fnatic had no nades left after their foray into middle. And not only did they also, I think, lost a player, and they hadn't gained any ground. They hadn't gained ground into connector, into short, or into window or ladder room, because TQM were holding it down so heavily. That was great. I mean, it just came down to some really sick individual shots right at the end there, but TQM played that really well, I think. And they're going to get punished really hard for losing that round. Look at their money at the moment. It is awful. They have to go for a save, and Fnatic have a real chance back into the map now, actually.
Indeed, I was just about to say that. They are 6 rounds behind at the moment, but because the QuestionMark economy is in tatters, they have a chance, they have some opportunity. KRIMZ holding close, and it's going to be the garden hose spray down as QuestionMark are eliminated in quick succession across the map. It is an eco round from them. It should be a nothing round as Effects is the last man, and that nade is not going to be helping him stay alive. He is in fact now dead, Dan.
Indeed. So we can see that the buy's going to come in for TQM, but the money's a little bit skew-if, a little bit odd. You can see Device on a P19. He can't really afford any grenades, and generally it's a bit of a struggle to get nades out. But at least karrigan's on the AWP. Might start seeing some aggression from TQM now. karrigan is going to be looking for the peak, and beautiful angle. And indeed, they had 2 players there quickly in middle to actually support. But karrigan gets the pick up of the frag. And due to that, I think they abandoned the idea of taking middle because it's safer to play from the bomb sites with 1-man advantage, and it's working out. cajunb is going to spot Dennis, who moved up for an opener on towards Pit, and now they've lost 2 players. What on earth do Fnatic do? They've got to regroup and work out how to attack this situation.
That was a beautiful flash from a teammate for the peak to come in to kill that player on the Tetris area. 2 plays left now for Fnatic. And QuestionMark are moving dangerously close to round number 14. Just the AWP and the AK left. So things looking hard. JW trying to pick, trying to get something done, but there are so many angles he can be shot from at the same time. Device coming in for the flank. Gonna go for the kill, no messing around. Looking at a potential knife there. The spray down from cajunb as well is gonna be 10 out of 10 there. So everyone surviving for QuestionMark.
Yeah, it's looking really nice actually right now for TQM. Of course, they've restabilized again. You know, as mentioned, that previous Fnatic victory was their chance back into this one. It's hard to see them do it now. The TQM are 2 away, because not only that, they're 2 away with the opportunity to build some money. If they're able to be successful in this round, that they should be able to buy. No problem, I believe. So we have the majority of Fnatic's lineup moving through the B apartments. And we shall see whether or not they're going to be successful there as dupreeh and Zipex. Actually, oh wow, the forward smoke. This is really cool. Now, the thing about this is that Fnatic don't know if TQM are going to push somebody up behind that smoke, close or not. So it's going to be a little bit annoying. They have to wait, they have to play this patiently. And JW, meanwhile, is trying to cause distraction and damage from the A side of the map. Great nade.
Ooh, he surely sees
Boom.
him. He does indeed, and down goes JW. That's going to activate to start of movement from Fnatic over towards the B bomb site. Zipex just firing through the smoke. He's going to trade for his teammate. There are 3 Fnatic players left trying to hold on to what they have in this map, but only 2 left now. Zipex still spraying. That's another one. 2 smoke kills for him. Just KRIMZ left for 33 HP. The entire team coming in. 2 on the site already. Do not fancy his chances. Zipex has an angle on him. KRIMZ just waiting, but Zipex through the box. It's going to have a solid hold on B. Game point, map point, but not match point for QuestionMark. They are, of course, a map down to Fnatic at the moment. But they are looking really good to take this to a third.
Yeah, absolutely. It's looking pretty impressive at the moment, this display that they put on. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they can bring to the table on the third map now, because they've really come alive here. And the auto sniper's out onto device. He's playing the perfect position for it as well. This is the money spot right now, but he's not actually going to get any major connections. It's cajunb from the connector area that will do that. It's going to be really hard here for Fnatic, as they don't really have all the grenades to do this, to block off these angles. Look how much space cajunb has to work with there, as JW finally finds himself a forward position, but his teammates are dying. Flusha with a double there, though. Might just change things a little bit. A triple, in fact. Flusha is going absolutely mental with that AK-47. And JW is keeping a couple players with the Max 10 at bay by CT spawn, but still the wall banks come in, and it's all down to Flusha. He's got to get himself the ace to win this one.
He's going to try and walk over towards the B bomb site, but device is headed in his direction. But he's not checking the angle, and Flusha will have heard those footsteps, but he can go for the flank. dupreeh's coming in from the back as well, and Flusha.
Oh no.
He's trying to play it smart, but unfortunately it didn't work out on this occasion. So 16-8, we are indeed going to go to 3 maps here. TSM down, but not out by any means. A very strong performance from them. So it seems they are awake enough to take this to 3 maps, but we'll see if they can hold on. It's been a long day for both teams, but a long day for everyone else here as well. You can perhaps hear some soaring in the main hall as they continue to set up for the coming days in the crowd, which I cannot wait to see. But again, our third map is going to be Inferno here. We'll be going to that in a few minutes. I think we're probably going to cut to a break and then head to the analyst desk beforehand. Once the producer tells us he's ready.
Yeah, I mean, so the stage, you mentioned the stage is actually looking fantastic right now. I just had a look just a moment ago. It's looking glorious. But yeah, this I think we've set ourselves up right now for a fantastic third map, because those first 2, we saw some greatness from Fnatic, and then we saw greatness from TQM. I still wanted to call them TSM actually. You can see device on your cameras there, on your screens. Handsome man device. He had an amazing save actually, which made a huge amount of difference on the T side with his AWP. It was him and dupreeh, I believe, who were left alive, and he came back in with the AWP and then 1v4'd the entire team with the AWP from Palace.
That was a
with
very
that sick
round.
smoke. That was a really sick play there from device.
That was a nice round.
And it was quite pivotal as well, because of the way the money was working out, and it basically stripped the momentum from Fnatic completely stripped their momentum. I actually, I feel like that's one of those rounds where it has such a huge impact. Fnatic could have gotten a lot more rounds if that hadn't happened. But yeah, any thoughts on the map, on that map before we go to
TSM
break?
played well, Dan.
TSM do not very good at this, James. Pick something that you enjoyed from that match.
Makeup girls. Oh, from the match. The device thing you just mentioned, that was good. Just the TSM overall dominant score-wise, at least, was nice. There was a lot of mayhem towards the A site though. In some rounds where there was just mad frags coming in from both directions. One team would win by the skin of their teeth. So those rounds, it was quite a war of attrition. But there we go. I don't think Fnatic are going to be too phased by the result of that map. Going into Inferno, we can tell you what we think of commercials. I mean, sorry, what we think of Inferno after the commercials. We're going to add then analyst desk. See you in a few minutes.
E-gaming bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
Do you have extra CSGO skins? Do you want to win really cool things? Visit csgofast.com. Place your bets and win really cool skins. csgofast.com. Check your fortune.
Well, all I can take away from this is that 2 seconds ago, Flaren, who's been on the desk for one game, was complaining about how this feels like it's been a very long series. But TSM made short work that time of Fnatic 16-8. I've got the score right in front of me again this time. And it was pretty much TSM in the lead the entirety of the game. They lost the opening pistol, but after that they ran away with it.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I was saying before the game. Fnatic CT side, big problem on Mirage, was the case against EnVyUs. Was even more so the case against TSM. What was a bit weird for me is that TSM played actually quite a different as versus. No, I mean Fnatic. I don't know where I'm going with this. Just the fact that TSM. I know now. Just the fact that TSM actually put a lot of pressure on A and B execute instead of taking control of the middle. And this is. I don't know. I know. Actually, I was kind of so lost in my mind. I know I had it somewhere, and
So
then
at least it's you.
I was
going. Flaren that did this with like this first game on the desk, I'd have been like, Jesus, get this guy out of here.
I think what you were going for is that overall, yeah, okay. So overall, you were talking about Fnatic CT side, whereas TSM needs like control of middle. That's their chance to win, right? But you can actually see now where they didn't even do that, and they still managed to have such a great T side. It just comes to show that Fnatic overall on Mirage so far today has just been subpar on their C side.
Shit, you can just say it for Flaren.
Well, it doesn't really help when you have like a player like JW going massive on Dust 2, and Olofmeister was right there with him, and then moving on onto Mirage, JW was nowhere to be found.
I think they both ended unsignaled. I think. Of course, I got this stupid lock set on my phone, so I can't. I think it was 8 and 9 each. What do we got? 8 for JW, 9 for olofmeister.
Yeah, and that's a big problem for Fnatic, especially because of the way their CT side works. Olof is most of the time that anchor in the A side, usually plays alone towards the CT spawn. His job is to maybe get a kill from an off angle and then just stay alive. But yeah, I really did not expect such a dominant T-half from TQM, especially after Dust 2.
And this is obviously match best performance, that's not the map.
Yeah, it was kind of those.
Yeah, that's right. This is over the first 2 maps total.
absolutely.
Obviously, this will continue on into the 3rd map. Dennis leading the way.
And
he actually did have
performance. It's like
Xyp9x is
gangsta man.
actually
Performance.
I'm surprised Xyp9x has 34 deaths because if he can go invisible like that, he shouldn't die ever. That's impressive stuff that they're finding him still. That just goes to show you that flusha really does know where everyone is, because even though he's invisible.
Yeah, there we go.
So there we go. This is the second map. So Xyp9x led the way 18. karrigan, so karrigan, who was non-existent essentially in the first map, is up there as well. Device consistent as ever, 17 kills.
But this is what you expect from karrigan on Mirage. Like again, I can't stress this enough. Is karrigan on Mirage is by far his best map. Now they started the T side. Normally, you tend to just rely on karrigan on the CT side with the op because he's great on the B bomb side hold along with Xyp9x. But yeah, overall, I mean, a very solid performance from XTSM on Mirage. That's kind of what I was expecting as well, as we were talking about pre-game going into Mirage as well. That I believe that XTSM will pick up Mirage, especially when you saw how Fnatic was playing versus EnVy the day or a little bit earlier today. So the third map now coming into obviously Inferno, I think that's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. To further up your point, it's kind of interesting that it kind of did go away from mid, because you said before the game that was exactly what we were going to see, so that was a bit surprising. Olof, before we shift pages and do get into the Inferno, Olof to me, now I know on Dust 2, yes, he ended with 18. The second half for him CT side was great. But throughout the course of the day, I mean, if there's a case right now and everyone seems to believe he'll be #1 on HLTV, 2016 is not starting off so far. I mean, this tournament, he's been struggling. Agree? Disagree? You can. That's not all at once.
No, I mean, when you know the kind of performance he usually put throughout 2015, obviously this is not the
I know, yeah,
you want
to be
now.
fair, it's one day.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be very
kind
careful.
Of built that up like a 2016 sucks. Like, it's one day. But
no, we really have to be careful about that kind of conclusions, but definitely he needs to step up if Fnatic wants a chance to win, because like you mentioned, Florina, they cannot rely on the mastermind leading of Pronax. That was before. Now I think they pretty much rely on individual performances more than a very tactical aspect, and who else than olofmeister to put a very impressive individual performance. So he definitely needs to step up.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, that was the whole thing about not having Pronax anymore. When you perhaps maybe get a better individual player. You got Dennis, obviously, even back in the day when he was in LGB, a great player, one of the better ones in the team. This is obviously before olofmeister and KRIMZ actually joins Fnatic to become the players that they are today. Dennis was one of the better guys on that team, and then when you pick this guy up, you expect Fnatic to have just straight out brute force individual performances again and again, and you have performers like these coming in from olofmeister, arguably one of the best players in the world of 2015. You have JW, you have flusha even. I think flusha is the best rated player in majors. You have all these great talent in your team, and if you don't find a way to make sure that your players shine, now you have more than one player that can shine, right? It's the same with EnVy. You have multiple players that can shine depending on the map, but if you don't have at least 2 of these players show up throughout the series, you're not going to have a good time. And we've seen that today, especially the game versus EnVyUs, now again on Mirage. So coming into Inferno is also the map where we were talking about before, where Fnatic has been struggling on that today.
Titan beat them today on it. That was a bit surprising. I mean, that was the one that they lost to Titan.
And we are talking about individual performance. Not only is olofmeister underperforming, but flusha is also way below his usual level now that it's picked up the in-game leading role. So actually Fnatic ends up with a very less firepower that they used to have in 2015. That's like 2 players that were supposedly the best players, and they are not performing today. So if they want a chance on Inferno, they have to do that. And also I'm extremely concerned about their city side, because I think throughout the tournament they had really poor city sides overall. And Inferno is supposed to be the map where city you just put on the wall. That's over. You win 9 to 12, 13 rounds.
Especially on Inferno.
You have to. You really have to. If they let TQM have more than 5, 6 rounds as T, I think it's basically over. So either they finally put up a great city side, or the series is over for them.
I will say one of the trends when TSM beats them on Inferno does usually start from Fnatic force buying too much too early and breaking their own economy. So that's one trend to watch. Going back to the whole, I guess we can call it an issue, the lack of leadership right now that Fnatic has. How much can they just simply go back and watch their own old demos? How much can they get a carbon copy from Pronax? And how does someone like Vugo, who's around for that, can they just simply translate, or do they have to start?
You don't want to do that. That's the whole thing about like switching a player, right? When especially your in-game leader, you want to have like a fresh start. You want to have like a new kind of play style, and that's where you put a lot of pressure on Vugo, because obviously it's gonna be key for him to. Because when you have a playstyle when it's just strictly individual play, I should know NIP, no tactics, blah, 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 you need to know what your opponents are doing, right? Like, because especially when you don't have that many strats for yourself, it's going to be individual play. So what helps you there is knowing what your opponents will do. It's like, well, what can I expect here? I know I have to kill him, obviously, but like, what will make my life easier coming into this to this game? And that's where the pressure on Vugo is, obviously, because he's the coach, he's the guy that you're going to rely on, like watching the demos, making sure that he has like more of an understanding on what your opponents might actually do on this map and what they like to do, just to feed that to your team so they can perform to the best of the level.
It's just, I mean, because in one theory you'd say, well, you just do the same thing, and now it's even stronger with the new guy. But you're kind of right; it's a different player, different style. So it's just, it seems like this will be a bit of a rough patch, and Thorin alluded to that, where they don't have that same dynamic, I guess you could say. And I'm very curious to see if they can pull off Inferno the second time around. Having lost it to Titan, it doesn't look solid to me, and I'm a little bit concerned.
And also what can be problematic for Fnatic with this new lineup and flusha in-game leading is that, to me, flusha seems, maybe you know more about this than I do, he seems like a person who can tilt more easily than Pronax can as an in-game leader, and someone who is maybe even a bit more stubborn, a bit more strict with his calling. So I think that's what we saw in the match against EnVyUs. When they started losing, it seems like they just gave up, because remember in that game they were up 6-0 on Train, right? And then they almost lost like 16-0 from that point. They almost lost 16 rounds in a row. Yeah. They only managed to win one round after that. So they basically, after being up 6-0, they lost 16-1. And I don't think you ever saw that like in the old Fnatic team.
No, I mean, there's a great example of, I mean, you're right in the way that, you know, Pronax was a little bit more lenient, probably not as headstrong as flusha is, and you saw that. I think it was like a Gfinity event where, for the first time ever, flusha was the one calling and Pronax was still on the team. And I think there was like one game or something that they went into an argument, and then next game coming into that, you had Pronax calling again. So like there are some issues there within a team without Pronax, where you have probably flusha, you might not be used to, if he calls, well, let's go B, and JW goes, well, I want to go A and just take a pick here, right? And he has it going down. Obviously, you're gonna be a little bit frustrated,
and
right?
exactly that. Actually, it was in the Thorin's reflections video with JW, where JW mentioned how Pronax was actually really good at, you know, if JW says last second of freeze time, yeah, I want to try and make this pick, I'm gonna do this. Someone else then mid round says, yeah, I'm gonna try and do this. That Pronax was really good at, you know, working with all of that and actually having a bigger picture, having a bigger plan. Okay, so if this player wants to do this, I'm gonna go here, all of you do this, and that's actually really hard to do. I was an in-game leader at some point as well, and that's actually really hard to do, to adjust to all of those moving parts mid-round and still manage to win those crucial rounds.
And you have to
that's
be a
really
little bit
impressive.
optimistic to do that as well, to say, okay, if he gets that pick, that means we can do this. Let's set up for it. I think that's a great insight. I think we've touched on a few good points. Now we've got one map left. It's a best of 3. We're on to the third one. Remember, winner essentially gets the number 2 seed. Bottom side of this gets number 3 seed. So both teams will move on to the quarterfinal, but we don't yet know who they're playing. Any differences? Who's going to take Inferno? Straight up, no, don't read into it. I just want a snapshot from each of you.
Yeah, no, I said 2-1 TQM. I stick by it. I think they're going to win Inferno.
2-1 TQM.
I said 2-1 Fnatic. I'm going to stick to it.
I don't even remember what I said at this point, so I'm not going to say anything. Let's go to James and DDK. Take it away, guys.
Hello, everyone. Do you want to turn your microphone on?
I was just saying I'm very far away from you, James, on the shot, but I'm struggling to move my chair closer.
You've taken leave of your senses, Dan. It appears.
It's very possible.
You are perhaps unprepared for the third game of this best of 3, which is going to be on Inferno, so we should be into the match soon. So we're in one of the kind of balcony VIP booths that overlook the main hall, and they just go all the way along. I think maybe 2 doors down a Fnatic. So we just saw olofmeister taking a bit of a breather during the break there. So hopefully he goes in with a cool head and a focused mind into this third map, and we should have a competitive match amongst us. I knew CSM were going to take that one.
You didn't know. You didn't know anything, James. Let's be completely honest. And you know that. You're just baiting me. You're just trying to trigger me. Because I saw that smirk when you said that. You're just blatantly trying to trigger me there.
And I have succeeded.
So I just...
How's it going all the way over there?
Don't know, mate. I just can't move my chair.
Have you tried lifting your chair?
Well,
And
I
then
could,
putting it back down again?
could definitely try that, but I've chosen not to do that.
Okay, you just enjoy yourself over there.
I will do that.
Not too much.
We have Knife, though, starting off, and don't know that it will really make too much of a difference for these teams starting CT or T, to be honest. You know, some teams, it, would be definitely a big preference, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. Especially with Fnatic, they've sometimes been picking the T side just in spots where you wouldn't imagine that they would want to. And it would appear that Fnatic have won the Knife round, so they can choose their side. There's a lovely shot of karrigan, the in-game leader for his team. See Dennis at the end there.
That calendar's going to be famous by the end of... oh, no, I guess we won't see it tomorrow because they'll be on the stage.
Maybe we can bring it with us. We can bring it with us, James.
So these guys are going to be sharing the stage with the Dota monkeys tomorrow. I've never watched a match of Dota in my life, and I'm not about to start then. I
probably played like 4,000 or 5,000 games of Dota 1, and maybe 2,000 of Dota 2 in the first year of its release.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So screw you.
I'll never play a game of Dota unless they add an AWP. And then I still won't play a game. We're into the pistol round. We have 4 players on the Fnatic side with Kevlar. This time they've chosen to pick up a defuse kit. karrigan's the nade man for the QuestionMark team. The rest of them going to be rocking the Kevlar safer device, who I presume drops a tech 9 to cajunb, who's just been dispatched of. So the raid boss has not worked out for the Danish side. They're getting wrecked now by olofmeister with 2 super fast frags, only 2 left here, and the bomb is nowhere near going down on the side. Flanks coming in, more headshots for days. Can Device even get a single frag for his team? There's one. Again, he has control of the bomb, so another frag coming in. Lots of bullets in that magazine, but that is all she wrote, and now she is dead.
Yeah, flusha picks up the Tech 9. flusha, previously on the last best of 3 that we casted of Fnatic, his CZ play on Arch side was the stuff of legends.
It was exquisite, it was impeccable, it was divine, it was glorious, it was marvelous, it was beautiful, it was heroic, it was handsome, Dan.
Do you have any more adjectives?
It was great, it was awesome, it was badass.
Are you out of adjectives?
It was fabulous.
Do you want to reload on adjectives?
It was stupendous.
There's quite a few you missed.
It was sparkling.
There we go. Continue. Keep going. You can't, can you?
It was pretty damn good. It was all right.
All right. Well, now you've run out of adjectives. We can continue the cast. Have a bit of aggression there on Apartments and Zipex, trying to get some sneaky taps there, but JW's salivating. He's waiting for him to push further so he can spray him down with the MP9, but it's not going to happen just yet. As he, it's not really a force buy. I mean, dupreeh and this is something to note here. dupreeh and Zipex did manage to buy Kevlar and a Deagle each, but the rest of his teammates, they were economic and only bought the pistol. So only 2 players that really invested fully. So that's an interesting note. We can look further at that in the next rounds and see how that impacts the situation. But still trying to find an opening with these Deagles, and they are good for that. Just 1 bullet's all it takes. He's going to be able to do it, if anyone, in fact.
I thoroughly enjoyed Fnatic's play on this map in the previous match with Titan that they eventually lost. So just pay attention to flusha's movements during this, because they're quite fun to watch. Oh, KRIMZ seeing the toes there of cajunb and taking him down. That's going to prompt a push here from QuestionMark. Although QuestionMark have dupreeh basically in CT spawn / library, and the bomb seems to be moving away from the B bomb site. However, JW's top mid now, so this is not going to work out for the team. Trade's coming in, but the bomb is down, which means we might see a bit of a push down B and the rotation from flusha back towards the A site, which may pincer dupreeh before he can take down Dennis. He takes down Dennis, but is he going to get traded? He is going to get traded, and that's going to finish the round off. 2 players down for Fnatic, and now we have a bit of a breather. We can just say again, flusha has been on Inferno, playing from the Arch itself, having a bit of shoulder peeking, relocating to library, and it's worked dividends for his team. And where he's needed to, he's pulled a player from the B bomb site to play Speedway, for example, to stop T's from trying to come into the B bomb site, wrapping via top mid. So we'll see how that progresses. Double nades coming in, and cajunb has left the building unceremoniously. Device soon to follow.
Yeah, pretty brutal, and this is going to be the end of this one. Before we get going, that's quite funny. Oh dear, he gets another kill. That's actually kind of a big deal. That should have been only maximum 1 kill there for dupreeh. He'll finally go down, but a little bit of extra damage there is going to be nice to TQM. And now we will remember that Device and dupreeh didn't. They actually opted to get the Kevlar Deagle a couple rounds ago, but they still are fine on the buy. Interestingly, so looks like that is was pretty nice corner to cut there.
JW's actually continuing with an MP9. That is cheeky. That is rude. That is outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's going to want to play probably the apartments in the close positions. He's been doing that quite a lot in the last matches as well. And Dennis has picked up the AWP instead for the team, and he's of course taken that towards the arch side. You know, of course, previously we saw flusha going arch side a lot for the team.
This is abhorrent, Dan. It's obtuse. He's closing in, trying to get a bit of bonus damage in, but dupreeh has made his way into the apps, and he's taken down JW and flusha. So this is a giant hole in the A sites, and they'll be looking to turn it into a volcano, but Dennis is holding things down at the moment. dupreeh has been dispatched of, and now QuestionMark are stuck behind the door, but they're emerging from short at the same time, and that's going to allow them to trade Dennis, but the bomb has been dropped in a nasty position. That smoke is going to help, but the spray from olofmeister is almost enough. cajunb escaping with 11 HP and the bomb. 2 versus 3 now, as Fnatic try to get a grasp on this round.
There's actually an incendiary left on Olof as well. Oh, KRIMZ really needs to win that battle. If he'd won that battle, it would have been definitely game on. But now olofmeister, all he can really hope to do is maybe get a stray kill. Although he's actually walking back in at the moment. Just, actually, I mean, he can't be thinking of going for it. He's just looking for potential exits here. And there's one frag.
Oh, the bomb position.
Oh
he could go for the defuse.
Wow.
The Molotov.
He actually gets the kill as well.
He could do this.
He's
He's gonna hold it.
he can.
He's close to it. He's gonna hold it. Has he got time? Oh my god, it's gonna be close. This is ridiculous. olofmeister, are you seriously doing this? Oh my god! You cannot be serious. What is this? Did that actually happen?
Oh my god.
That is absurd. That is absurd. olofmeister, stop it. This is illegal. You can't do this.
That was so amazing. That's really interesting because that was a very opportunistic play. Because initially he just peeks back in. It's all right. I can get a free kill him maybe. Picks up a kill and notices there's no one trying to re-peek for the frag. Goes a bit further. Wow, that was really nice stuff by olofmeister there. What a man. What a man.
Oh, it's heating up in Minsk. The snow is melting, courtesy of olofmeister with the dirty plays, Dan. That is disgusting. That's outrageous.
All right, well, now JW's picked up the AWP, and we saw him do this earlier today, playing the apartments with it, and Device is down 10 HP already in this round. So TQM, they might be... Well, I'm still thinking about that. I'm still thinking about that 1 versus 3.
That was so hype, my nose has started running. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, mine's been running all day. It's been...
I don't care about your nose.
Been calamitous.
So you can see Fnatic are back on this play where they're not really putting anybody top mid. Now, we need to see if QuestionMark can detect this over time and do something about it. But they've got one player on site. JW is playing around the balcony position, and flusha's moving between the arch itself as opposed to general arch area and library where you can see him right now. You can see him a quick strafe to the left to see if anybody's there. That nade is going to go past the players. Device somehow down to 10 HP already. And now you can see karrigan has made it through to arch. But the rotation's coming in from olofmeister towards Speedway. flusha getting the frag though. And we'll see how the teams react to this. dupreeh's there as well. And the QuestionMark may not even detect that olofmeister has been pulled from the B bomb site. Now he's moving back to the B bomb site. So QuestionMark had an opportunity to push, but they've missed their timing. And now they're getting wrecked by KRIMZ as well. So it's all falling apart for QuestionMark. But the key thing is, can they figure out exactly how Fnatic are playing the B bomb site and arch area, and what can they do about it? Because again, it's quite novel the way flusha rotates to library, kind of invites them to come into arch, pulls olofmeister, but he wasn't even required in those duels. They didn't lose a single player, I don't think.
Yeah, this is a pretty fantastic start from Fnatic. And they've got to be building some bank here, because that was a pretty clean one right there. And TQM probably feeling like they had that 1 versus 3, stolen from them. They're on the eco now. This is a great opportunity for Fnatic to further exploit their position and get themselves some money. Money. Cash money. JW, nice flick there, finding dupreeh, and there's potential for another frag here for JW, as there is still one player in apartments as the bomb makes its way up towards B for TQM. Now let's have a look and see whether or not they can get anything done with this. Denied by the smoke, very frustrating stuff, but that is Inferno for you, ladies and gents. We will now have TQM positioning towards A. They are being herded towards the A bomb site due to all these smokes redirecting them. And it's flusha with the first spot. tossing out the incendiary to apply a little bit of pressure, slow the approach from these players, give himself some more room to work with there on the peaks. As Device tries to get something done. But once again, JW on point, and this is just not happening for TQM. The next round is where they'll find their bite, and Fnatic now up onto 6 rounds. The buy, the strategy is going to have to be pretty solid because things are starting to look a little bit dark over by the TQM camp.
One thing that's interesting about the CT play here from Fnatic is that I think they were CT in the second half versus Titan, and you saw flusha try to mix it up. Like when Smiths was on the CT side first, he was holding the corner as the normal corner you hold on Arch, and he was getting wrecked. He was getting isolated by Fnatic and punished for that. When flusha tried to mix it up by holding more aggressively, as he was just standing there, those rounds he got picked off, and that basically cost him. But now they're starting on the CT side. I wonder if QuestionMark start to try and take early top mid advantage, if they're going to be able to, well, if flusha will try and mix things up again. But this time we can see that, in fact, JW is playing AWP inside Boiler on his own, missing the shot now, unable to escape. So there is a bit of a mix-up in approach here from Fnatic. 3 people over towards B, so they are changing things in different ways, which will keep QuestionMark guessing, so to speak. With that pick, QuestionMark not going to try and capitalize it too quickly. We've got a minute on the clock here to keep Fnatic guessing. Only KRIMZ towards the B bomb sites at the moment. There is a smoke in play there. There are no more smokes left for the Fnatic side, so they may need to rotate somebody back towards B. We'll see what they choose to do. Again, QuestionMark wouldn't really know how the remainder of the CT side are playing. Fnatic have been quite tricky, but here we go. KRIMZ is going to have to try and get 2 kills here, otherwise the B-bomb site might get savaged. karrigan taken down unexpectedly with the smokes coming in, and QuestionMark can't capitalize.
Yeah, the push coming in up to middle now as it's a 4 versus 4. Time is really of the essence. 20 seconds to get the bomb down. Good defense from Dennis. Can he get anything else? Yes, the second player is found. flusha lurking in the site. All he has to do is delay, and there's too many spots to check. Xyp needs to plant in the next 5 seconds, or else his team is going to lose this round. He's going to have to go for it. Here it is. And that's all the time in the world for olofmeister to get himself the kill, and not even the plant for the extra $800 for every player on QuestionMark. It's looking really good here for Fnatic so far, and we get a tactical pause from Team QuestionMark. karrigan is going to have to try to think of something here, or get some information from his teammates to try to put together an attack plan, because so far it's been really, really successful when it comes to Fnatic's rounds. They're really, really having a good time with this one. Anything that stands out to you, James? I
just noticed that 2 of the 5 players on TSM don't have any kills yet. And they're on the T side. It's not even like they're playing passively towards B. And we're 7 rounds in, so that is a problem. Yeah, that can happen sometimes on this map when you're going through the choke points and the first couple guys can't really get the entries going. It can be almost impossible for the guys who are now stuck behind the choke points to get anything done. So it's generally been a bit of a struggle. But it's good to see Fnatic in such form here. And the thing that's really interesting for me is how dynamic they are with their mix-ups, how they can play the A bomb site. Dennis has been like a really consistent, dedicated site player, whereas the opportunity for JW and flusha to kind of split up between apartments and Arch side has been really cool, actually. And sometimes, of course, we're seeing the all picked up by olofmeister or even Dennis. Like there's so much versatility there that it's hard to actually predict exactly what they're going to do. Yeah, and I really love the line that the CTs are holding towards A, but we'll come back to that because there's an aggressive push here. You often see this when tactical pauses come in, but we'll come back to that later. 2 frags for either side now, and Dennis is here to hold things down. Dennis Monster, he's not joking, down to 2 versus 2. Both Fnatic players out of position now, moving towards the B bomb site, but not fully committing just in case. We've got flusha headed in that position. He's behind the smoke, trying to get a timing HE in. He's got a flashbang to push into pool should he choose to push through the smoke with it. But now there's one QuestionMark player over to the other side. JW coming in for the flank. Can he get there fast enough? The bomb's just starting to go down. flusha's not going to wait. He sees a player in pool, goes for the other player, and he's not going to get either frag. JW picks up an M4, takes it down to a 1 versus 1 now. karrigan's in new box position. He's got half his HP. JW has many places to check.
Yeah, this is a tough one because I think his teammate might have called called for the cause position. In fact, he's going to just toss in the incendiary. Yeah, he really thought that he was by the cause spot there. And we will see now JW understanding exactly where karrigan is. karrigan's getting tanked down lower and lower, and he's going to get taken down in the nick of time by JW, who does have a diffuse kit, so he's golden in this moment. Nice situation for JW there, and doing a good job, good timing, good approach into the retake. And that's going to be another round for Fnatic. TQM again feeling like perhaps they got robbed there because they had a really good situation, but they couldn't close it down.
What I was going to say is when you have those tactical pauses coming in, the team who are doing well will often try to stuff any attempt for anything from the opposing team, basically, to try and, like, if they have any different approach, they just want to shut them down as soon as possible, which is basically what Fnatic tried to do there towards Banana, and it paid off just about in spades. I'm not sure if JW saved his AWP from the previous round, which he dropped on Banana, but never mind that. There's a fast push coming in from QuestionMark, trying to force the issue here. Flashbangs coming in though, lots of blind players, and KRIMZ is wrecking everyone. 3 men go down for the TSM side, TQM, excuse me. Device left 15 HP, and he's going to get wrecked as well. Everybody getting wrecked, Dan. It's Wreckomania.
So the reckoning. All right, well, 9-0. This is starting to look a little bit awful now for TQM. And it's quite funny how these maps have bounced backwards and forwards. Initially, of course, you know, Fnatic having a great showing, and TQM looking a little bit naff, and then the reverse on the next map, and then now we're on the third map, and once again, it's gone back to Fnatic just being very dominant. A little bit of bunny hopping action there, as we get the smoke towards the middle of the Banana area for Fnatic to keep themselves golden on the top of Banana, making sure that TQM have to work and expend resources to gain control of Banana. KRIMZ is the lone man there for the TQM side, as Apartments is now under control for TQM as well, so just a normal basic map control plays coming in from TQM. We do have Fnatic with a 2-man archer, 4 men actually on the A side of the map here for them.
Indeed, this is something that has changed from the previous times where flusha was playing up close, in the sense that he has support now from another player. Now they're going to rotate olofmeister back towards B, and flusha will come back towards a more passive angle. So I really am loving the A play specifically from Fnatic, and how they're pulling olofmeister towards Arch and away from Arch as necessary. And again, I don't know if QuestionMark are going to be able to punish this in time. And now we're seeing olofmeister go aggressive towards B with the flashbang. Perfect nade as well. And cajunb is forced all the way back to the tree position. I hope you love trees. He might be there for a while.
Yeah. Oh, great shot. What a shot there from flusha. That was beautiful stuff there. And almost getting it as you were strafing. Killing Device, and TQM trying to take some position out of the life lost of Device as dupreeh moves forward. He's got to win this battle against flusha. flusha just shoulder peeking it and falling back. He's frustrating the TQM lineup now. Dennis pushing forward with a pop flash that was a little bit too slow to get one frag before getting taken down, and now finally TQM are getting some damage in here. They're moving forward onto the bomb site, getting position. Where on earth is JW going to look as he gets attacked from the sky? Zipex picking up the AWP and making it happen. olofmeister is now down, leaving everything on the shoulders of KRIMZ, the very capable shoulders of KRIMZ. He does have Zipex in the pit with an AWP, and he realizes this. Next player has no idea, but Zipex, this round is all about him, as he picks up all the 3 kills in the end. And finally, TQM get around, but they only survive with 2 there. And so their money might not be super good. And so if they get reset here, that's a bad look for them.
Indeed, it's not a good look at all. Just like Henry G's look on the desk today, Dan.
What is going on with Henry G's look? I don't know. He's literally lost the plot. He used to be incredibly into being super dapper, but then now he's just completely lost the plot. Yeah. It's just beautiful. I really like it.
He's had too much Haribo, Dan. So, Fnatic are going to be on the full buy once again, and a bit of a different approach again. JW's close. He's top short, and flusha's going aggressive as well. So again, a different approach here from Fnatic. Got their control of Banana as they want it, and they're going to boost over the smoke. This is something I first saw the Renegades doing. Is it going to pay off? Can they see Device? I don't think he can quite. The double zoom is going to be enough, and Device has left the building. Device has been torn apart by the hands of JW.
Yeah, now look at the repositioning here. He's got back to these apartment shenanigans, and he's got a very fine angle. If they walk the angle, which a lot of players tend to do, he can take an even finer peek, which he's done.
This is a double peek, though. Dennis is in for support from Graveyard as well, so even if JW misses the shot, it's a bait if he misses the shot. It's massive here for Fnatic, the way they're playing the A-bomb site. So we're seeing 1 player over towards B. for QuestionMark. That's cajunb. The rest of the T's are going to be top mid with the bomb. 40 seconds left. They don't really have any significant map control. karrigan really needs a peek here. JW seeing the elbow, but not really making the killer connection. 30 seconds left now, and the bomb is still to be collected by QuestionMark. They are really running out of time. cajunb is going to have to rotate here, but QuestionMark, they need an opening. The layout has changed between JW and Dennis now, but JW is getting the frag regardless. Dennis on the site as well. Should a push come in from the app? So the support play is great. 14 seconds, and QuestionMark have had all the doors closed on them, and they're going back to the garden shed.
Yeah, it's another round shut down. And the expert plays from JW. Really big stuff there. I'm pretty impressed with how Fnatic are playing their CD side. Turns out that you know, getting that knife round win to start on CT was pretty crucial because they are knocking this one out of the park against TQM so far. They're unable to really find much in the way of an answer. And JW's going to have a lot more freedom now that Fnatic already have 10 rounds. JW can play a little bit more risky if he wants to do that, and we know that he does like to do that, and his team would maybe even be encouraging him to do so at this point. So we have to see whether or not that's going to happen. karrigan now with the AWP is looking for that peak with the AWP in middle.
Yeah, and they're moving a lot faster towards the A site for the time being. Having a peek over towards B as well, just to make sure there are no shenanigans here from the Fnatic side. KRIMZ holding the angle, willing to move back though. There was a flashbang there. olofmeister going to take a position towards the sandbags. Could be the killer surprise for QuestionMark in this particular round. So we've got a double arch play from Fnatic with another player on the site itself. So they're all over the place, which is going to make it hard for QuestionMark. The different approaches they're seeing from Fnatic. Now it seems QuestionMark are all going to be over towards the A site, waiting for this smoke to disappear.
Yeah, it's JW taking the shot there onto karrigan once again, being on point. Oh my god, this guy won't stop. Great shot again. He's going in for the next one, and it's not going to happen this time. dupreeh is finally going to get the punish in. But, you know, if with such plays as JW is making the third peak there, do it every time. And if he had actually managed to make the shot happen there, that's the round over for TQM. It's still very hard for them. And olofmeister gets the peek in. A great flash, almost finishing off dupreeh. 11 points of health are remaining on him. One key factor is there's only 30 seconds left, but all the nades are gone for both sides. So it's all about just busting into the site now. TQM, they've got to make a move. There's 25 seconds left now. Yeah,
look at the almost crossfire that the CTs have from the site position itself. This is horrible for QuestionMark, and they don't seem to really know what the setup is here from the CTs. Looking over towards pit, which is normally an obvious position, but the trickiness is not going to work out for Fnatic on this occasion. Two players still alive, olofmeister and KRIMZ. No slouches by any means. Can olofmeister get out of this choke point? dupreeh holding an angle on KRIMZ. KRIMZ is down. olofmeister versus 3. We've seen him do horrible things to QuestionMark already. Can he do it again? I don't think QuestionMark will be so fast to exit the A site on this occasion. They've got that same plant in that corner. kajunb is going to be standing on it steadfastly now. olofmeister not giving up on it quite yet.
One thing as well is that this is very worth olofmeister going for it, because if he somehow miraculously does this, he resets the economy of QuestionMark. And they're just done from that point. They will just very likely lose the map from that deficit. So it's I don't want to call it too soon, but olofmeister's going to play it safe here, recognizing that the odds are very, very low, and he's going to pick up the AWP instead. And you know, we're going to get to see the nope, no economy for us, James.
What is economy, Dan? I seem to have forgotten.
Don't know, mates. But it is a pretty awesome half so far from Fnatic, and it's actually very unfavorable for QuestionMark to actually win that round with because as you said, you know, it was almost looked like they had no idea what the setup was from the CT side, and they're very slow in. They had 15 seconds left. They make the frags happen immediately, and that's what they did. But it was very hard to do that. So pretty amazing that they accomplished it, and now they've got 2 rounds on the board. So it's something to work with. Both teams have huge buys here once again. And I'm always waiting to look and see how JW decides to play this, because he's been a pretty pivotal player in the Fnatic camp, and he might be in the perfect position to catch dupreeh. Oh, I think he's trying to shoot there, and he swapped gun. That is not good. That could have been a frag for JW. And if dupreeh went down there, that would be huge.
I don't think he even saw dupreeh the way he's looking around. There we go, dupreeh getting the follow-up there, and down goes JW. So we'll see what Fnatic do. They've often pulled a second player over from the B bomb site, and you can see KRIMZ starting to move now, leaving olofmeister alone. However, QuestionMark seem likely to go towards the B bomb site on this occasion, with 3 people on banana already. I'm not sure. Yeah, Zipex is still in the boiler room, so he can make it really hard for the rotations to come in down mid. Going for a bit of a peek there, and Dennis is going for some information, so we might have a battle over there, but the real battle's coming over towards B bomb site. KRIMZ with 2 frags, shutting down this push from QuestionMark, but they're still coming in. olofmeister behind the fountain is going to drop the bomb again. Now dupreeh coming in, going to pick up the bomb and make a run for it, but it's 1 versus 4 in one of the dying rounds of the first half.
Yeah, really nice reposition there from olofmeister as well. As we see dupreeh trying to get out of there. One thing to note now is that it's impossible for dupreeh to win this round is that olofmeister, after taking the initial frag from fountain and having a couple other players, potentially attacking him, what he did was, knowing that support was coming, he went to hide in second oranges, which means that if a player wants to actually kill him and to plant, they have to take the widest peak possible against him, which exposes them and takes the most time. So very smart play there from olofmeister, a little tactical nuance there from him. But 11-2 now the score. Fnatic will reset QuestionMark, and they've only got an AWP saved from that round. This is looking really, really bad. Here is the play from KRIMZ, the double there.
Through the smoke, of course. Of
course, and that's not a good situation here for QuestionMark. They are really hurting at the moment.
Well, they've got a lot of nades, a lot of Tech 9s, and I'm expecting a fast play to come in, despite the fact they're holding an AWP, purely because they need to use that moving accuracy to their advantage. And all these flashbangs, they can go for a pop flash top mid, although once again, the layout of Fnatic has changed. Look at the bait there. That was amazing from QuestionMark. Baiting with the bullet. JW takes his crosshair elsewhere. Then dupreeh comes in with the peek. Fantastic play, punishing JW for his behaviors there.
Yeah, something against the door now, and a bloody mess. And now it's going to be flusha in the bedroom that can still cause issue, as there are 2 players, in this area in the vicinity. But dupreeh is unlocking the arch side. He's got the key there, and again, this guy is not stopping anytime soon. We have him covering the rotation now from B that is potentially up for grabs here from Fnatic. But Fnatic in with a really tough retake situation, because there's players for TQM more or less controlling most space near the bomb site. So Fnatic, again, this would be a good spot to double check the money, but they would they're saving here for sure, and it's going to be interesting to see whether TQM can take this to 4. I mean, it's pretty possible for TQM to also have a similar half. I mean,
it is indeed, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But that was really good play to open up JW in that situation. It reminds me of a video I saw where some people put like a sieve and they tied it to elastic bands and put some monkey nuts in there, and the squirrel went to get the monkey nuts, and then they launched the squirrel, which is kind of cruel, but the same thing essentially happened to JW. They're like, oh, look, I see some bullets. And then WP comes in from the side. Good stuff. dupreeh loses the AWP, however. That was so effective in this round. And we'll have to wait to see how much money the T's have to buy with.
And 2 or 3 rounds, having 2 rounds at 3 rounds is a very, very big difference, because of if you lose the pistol, you can still actually get a buy. Even if of course you can't you can't lose a round at that point. At least you can be in that position from a buy, at the very least. But anyway, we're going to see Fnatic's JW looking for another peak on middle. He had a very fast spawn here, so he's going to be praying for the right. But it looks like we might have some players who are wary of this, but they're not going to be interested in any challenges just yet. dupreeh very fast there, because his teammates had gone for the pop flash, forcing flusha and JW back on middle. So TQM using their grenades to claim some positioning, and Device taking down KRIMZ. Really important play there. With KRIMZ out of the picture, and the rotation that's going to be caused by this, Team QuestionMark can abuse this massively. They can either try to just go for a set play on either A or B. They can try to keep working their options, try to take middle, leave a player there, go back to B. There's lots of options here for TQM. It's all about how karrigan perceives the rotation to be played from Fnatic. A lot of teams will split 2 players on B and 2 players on A. We can see here for Fnatic, they've got 1 on B, and flusha's floating between A and B. And you can see the smokes going here. So Fnatic have no idea what's going on.
Indeed, they don't have the stronghold over towards the A site that they have in previous rounds, where they've had 4 players alive. And as you can see, flusha is indeed over towards the B bomb site now. That nade will give the warning sign that there are still more players towards B for QuestionMark to deal with. 30 seconds left, and they seem to be moving towards short. Rotation coming in from the other 2 Fnatic players on the site, but Zipex is in the pit. That's going to be a strong position, and there we go. Very fast 2 frags there. flusha left alone. still with the CZ, and he's going to go down as well. So QuestionMark get a semi-respectable 4 rounds on the T side. Well, it's a respectable 4 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to work with. The funny thing in that situation is that they Fnatic did end up going for a 2-2 split because they had no idea what was going on instead of gambling for it. And you can make an argument both ways. But but the funny thing was that when the pick came into B, leaving Fnatic with 3 players on the defense, and one of which on B and 2 on A, the 2 guys on A suddenly were like, oh, maybe we should rotate. And so then they started running to Arch side, leaving the very strong positions of having 2 players in pits. So that actually made a pretty big difference, because if we saw then what was then the defense of Fnatic on the A site, it was 2 guys in the bomb site with nowhere to go, basically, from weak positions. So that kill towards B was really, really nice.
Pistol round number 2. Zipex is holding the angle over towards the B bomb site. It's just him and karrigan to try and hold. And they may have an advance here, but Fnatic are not going to overextend, it seems. We've got a lot of aggressive peeking from QuestionMark. So it's a good thing they didn't, because you may have had a fast flank there from the CT side. So everything is steady for the moment for both teams. Nobody's taken any damage at all at the moment. karrigan's got a smoke, no kit on the QuestionMark side, which I think is different from the Fnatic side, if I remember correctly, on the CT half. flusha with a smoke and a flash as well. And KRIMZ is just having a quick tour.
Just holding down an arrow key. Good old spin bots. Memories of the good old spin bot from the 1.6 days. But anyway, here we go. The push comes in now onto the B bomb side. karrigan was flailing wildly with the 5-7, unable to connect anything significant, allowing Fnatic to take the bomb site by storm. And this is potentially very dangerous right now for QuestionMark. They're at a disadvantage. There is a 3-on versus 3, but they have to move on to the bomb site to defuse that bomb. They are trying to wait for cajunb, who is by the banana position. They want to try to sync up, but it's not happening. KRIMZ now dropping down Zipex and Device, leaving just cajunb coming up from that banana position. 1 versus 3. There's the first pop. Can he find any more? Looking for the second. Critical damage done to olofmeister, but he will not find the frag. It will be the round for Fnatic, the pistol round no less, and TQM are in a real big problem here. It looks like they're forcing up, and there's definitely a couple, again, a marginal decision to either force up or save for a really big buy when you get to buy. They've gone for full force, James. Full force.
Indeed, they have 4 5.7s. Do love a 5.7. People say it is an overpowered pistol. I quite enjoy it. Let's see if Fnatic are able to hold. They've got the Mac-10s in play, the moving accuracy, and the P90 is back up. UMP in tow as well, so they're playing a bit conservatively. JW going for a bit of a spray. Zipex down to 10 HP, nobody dead for either side yet. QuestionMark rotating a 3rd player through, but you can see olofmeister moving slowly around the apps. He may just hold his angle for a while, so I wouldn't advise walking into the apps on your own with an AK. While JW turns on the can opener towards the B bomb site, gonna smoke himself so he can try and get some 1 versus 1s while his team wait for him. Remember back in the days when this used to be Devilbox Rock. Well, JW's gone down, and there we go. The push continues from the T side. 1 more to find, although with 3 players alive and olofmeister not seen anybody rotate down mid, they have to be careful, do the Fnatic side, in case they're all on B.
Yeah, I mean, this situation is pretty easy to play, though. I mean, they didn't see necessarily this stack on the B bomb site, but with their 4 versus 3, they just want to all group up and go B. There's no reason to isolate players, as we just saw. Now it's a 3 versus 3, and karrigan gets another kill. So now 2 versus 2 with the AK picked up on cajunb. So this is actually really dangerous at this point. Fnatic a little bit slow to coordinate themselves, and they are receiving the punishments for such misdemeanors. And now we will have Dennis with that P90, and dupreeh is not long for this world, surely, but somehow he's still alive and kicking, but not for much longer, as it's cajunb taking the headshot onto KRIMZ, leaving just Dennis with that P90. I don't think he's even reloaded yet, and wow, cajunb gets the kill there, and the defuse is going to come in as well. 7 HP, 1 more bullet would have done it from the very, very high rate of fire P90. And James, they just couldn't coordinate quickly enough.
I wish we had seen more scoreboards in this match. Just noticed that karrigan only got 2 frags in the first half there. But now they're on the CT side, they might have an easier time of it, so we'll see if they can start to rack up the kills. I really want to see how many kills KRIMZ has as well, but I may not be allowed. May not be allowed that.
May not be allowed. Indeed. Well, we will have Fnatic buying up, and The thing for TQM here is that Fnatic have like a pretty damn good buy, to be honest, against what they have. 2 AKs, some tech lines, and a couple nades. They can get a fast play in here. And if they win this round, they reset QuestionMark, and that cannot happen.
KRIMZ heading towards 20 frags at the moment. He does tend to go pretty beast on Inferno. There is a highlight of him with 32 frags on this map from a Face It match, which you can find on the YouTube. But here we go, Fnatic looking to force their way through this smoke. Going to isolate the Arch player if there is one to be found. Device going to move back flusha style, but dupreeh's been lost elsewhere. Fnatic all over the place now. Device unable to get any frags at UMP. Just 2 plays left here for QuestionMark. If they lose this round, they're going to be in a lot of trouble with their lost bonus starting at the beginning.
Yeah, it is going to be very, very tough. And Fnatic can definitely sacrifice a couple players to try to get some frags here. Because if they remove these weapons, I'm not sure what the weapons are. Yeah, you can see it. So it'll be $1,400 in addition to what QuestionMark have right now, which will land them as they all spent everything around you know, the 1,400 to 2,000 mark, presumably. So if QuestionMark lose these 2 weapons, their ability to actually do damage in the next round and hurt Fnatic's economy in the next round goes down significantly. But it doesn't seem like Fnatic are too interested in finding any particular engagements, which also works, as they are going to, of course, you know, keep the integrity of their own economy alive. So here we go. We got the. Almost got to see the money there. Almost.
Nope, denied. You're not allowed, Dan.
I'm not allowed. So 13-5 QuestionMark with P90 and M4 saved. This is going to be a tough one for them. I mean, Fnatic, they can just do a fast set play if they want to try to crush this, or they can try to get the pick first. As long as they play together, there's no real wrong way to play this. A lot of strategies that can work out well. But map control plays to look for the initial pick is probably the safest way. Also, baiting out nades, as they're doing as well, is also very good. Apply the pressure, because they know that the QuestionMark team cannot have too many grenades. And once they've removed all the grenades and they go for the play, there will be no counter grenades to the push. So that's all going to help your success rate on the site take.
If QuestionMark lose this round, then like my mummification, Dan,
yeah,
that's a wrap.
And by the way, just quick note, that smoke that Fnatic just threw to CT spawn, the purpose was actually to bait out grenades. But interestingly, TQM didn't throw any nades in response. They didn't buy it, which is actually pretty awesome that they didn't buy that, because a lot of teams would be paranoid. Oh my god, CT spawn smoke, it's B, it's B. But no, they have a lot of composure here.
Probably based on how much time is on the clock. One might assume they do have 3 players, though, ready and willing, standing up for their people. They've picked up arms, Dan.
The militia.
Yeah, but Fnatic heading towards the A-bomb site now, where there are only 2 players. dupreeh has spotted, and just like Flush has been doing over towards Arch, he's just going to relocate, trying to stay alive for his team to reposition. And you see Device desperately trying to get into position, but he's going to get isolated in CT spawn and taken down. And now Fnatic are going to go for the B split. Still 2 players over towards the B bomb site, and 1 Fnatic player patiently waiting. Who is this going to go to?
Yeah, that first orange's position is so key. karrigan's waiting there. With that P90, comes out, finally shows himself, gets the first kill, jumping around, gets the second as well. JW, the only one to trade eventually. He's got to do massive damage in this situation. And he's got to not die after time, and he's going to die after time, which means that he gets no money. Oh dear. So,
do Fnatic choose to keep up the pressure? They have quite a chunky lead, and indeed they will do. JW won't be able to pick up an AK, but that's not going to be the priority here. The priority is to crush the economy of QuestionMark. Look at the money left on the QuestionMark side. Thank you for allowing us to see the buy. That was quite a crucial one. So if that's the one we get all matched, then I'll take it. So the Fnatic team are moving up towards the A site now, where QuestionMark have 3 players looking to hold things down. Going to have a bit of a traditional setup further up towards top mid compared to the setup we've seen from Fnatic. We've had almost a flat line between the balcony and the site and the arch itself. Going to go for that re-smoke there. They've got quite a few nades have the QuestionMark side now, so they may be holding off Fnatic for a while. JW with a scout. Scout on Inferno is not something you see every day, and I'm quite curious as to how effective he can be with that.
Yeah, it can
I'd almost prefer a sawn off through the apps.
It can make for some really fast peaks on some angles and pre-fires. If you're really experienced opera, I can see the merit with the run speed. But
there are so many short paths though that I don't favourite myself.
Either way, Fnatic do take top mid, and QuestionMark have a passive setup here. dupreeh in a great position for a quick fast frag before falling back, and then cajunb can peek out. But the smoke is going away there on balcony soon, and that's going to make things a little bit more difficult for cajunb. And there it is, first kill coming in from KRIMZ. The push has initiated, and it's all about Fnatic. Oh dear, no damage done here by TQM, and there's 20 seconds left. The bomb's going to go down, no problem. karrigan and Zipex have to save.
That's a disaster, and most importantly for Fnatic, well not most importantly, but quite importantly, JW should be able to upgrade his scout for free.
Yeah, indeed. It's a situation where I can imagine that the money for QuestionMark must be completely terrible. So
there was the odd 1,000 here or there following nearby, so
yeah.
I think their situation is definitely less than ideal.
Yeah, it's looking like there is an overwhelming advantage now for the Swedish side. And it's, to be honest, like, it's so hard to call how this series was actually going to go. You can see the desk was the analyst desk was completely divided on what the outcome would be, and some say 2-0 for this team or that team based on who wins the first map. Some say 2-1 for this team, 2-1 for the other team. Completely divided, and you can see that in the results here. It's been very hard to predict. But Fnatic 14-6, and indeed you can see that in fact it was the second round loss bonus for TQM. Oh no, it was actually the first one. Okay, my bad. But yeah, that's a really bad situation because that means that they have to go for the force buy. There's no other choice here. So
yeah, they're bringing pots and pans.
Yeah.
To the battle here, and they're having to use the pots for helmets because their money's so short. So they're gonna take down. This is what's good. QuestionMark know that they are very limited on their utility, so they're gonna smoke off the bottom of banana and just take control of that big channel towards the B bomb site. And try and play that advantage for as long as possible. They've still got 2 smokes in the hole, so they should be good to control B for a while yet. And they're going to rotate a 4th player over towards the A bomb site and bolster the limited defense. cajunb off to a good start, taking down KRIMZ, but he's got another player hunting him. The device coming in from the side. We're going to run distraction while cajunb gets a 2nd frag. So this is working out beautifully for QuestionMark. Another frag for cajunb, looking to ace the team perhaps.
JW and flusha trying to just secure themselves a position in second mid and middle to reclaim the bomb. Now that has been done. They've got 50 seconds to work out a plan. Everybody's still alive for TQM, and it looks like they just want to go for the quick entry onto middle. And again, you just got to hit the shots in a spot like this. You got to take the big risk. You got to hope to get lucky on your guess. You can't second guess yourself. So you've got JW, who could potentially go up short if he wants to try to help his teammate out on balcony, but he gets the kill towards arch side. Now, 25 seconds are left, so they can't really wait too long to try to bait a rotation and get a frag on a CT that's out of position. They got to push into CT position. And look at that smoke. What are you going to do with that smoke right there?
You can plant in that smoke. There's a ninja plant in the corner, which I think flusha is going to try and do. But QuestionMark will note as well, 10 seconds left in it. He may not try to chance it. He's the last man standing for his team now, and he's looking to die instead. Yeah, he can go for a ninja plant there, but I mean, his success rate is going to be 5% because there's a player on the site on the other side of the box.
Yeah, he'd have to miss or spray because he knows where to shoot.
He can just jump on the box as well.
Yeah. So 14-7, QuestionMark are able to win a round, but how long are they going to keep this up at the moment? As it's going to be a pretty long road. Either way, we've got the glare out on the flusha there. And we'll have to see whether or not he's going to be able to get any damage with that. There's a limited amount of nades on the T side, but the aggression is dealt with pretty effectively by flusha. Just spraying through the smoke, another smoke frag. He knows those angles. He can close his eyes. Oh, he almost gets a kill onto Zipex, 2 HP.
He hasn't even got any blue left on his bar.
There's no blue.
Magic pixels.
No blue for you.
There's no more blue. The sea's been turned black. It's an oil slick or something. I don't know. All the birds. Never mind. TQM with half the score of Fnatic at present, and they are a man down. Smoked off from Arch, so they are without information. And it's going to be hard for Zipex to rotate from where he is because he's got 2 HP, because there could be a flank towards B, as Fnatic have done so many times. But he's going to be brave enough to come out and get put straight back in by JW. So the numbers falling for QuestionMark. The A bomb site has been abandoned by force. And dupreeh is left to wonder what could have been. To lament, Dan, his fallen comrades.
T occupation is strong. And T occupation might just win the day because Fnatic are going to be moving on to match point. This is the last map in this best of 3. It's a map for seeding. So if you're a TQM fan, you don't have to worry. They will not be eliminated. This is for mere seeding into the future stages of this tournament, into the playoffs. Now, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what to draw, what conclusions to draw from this match. But I think there's quite a lot of unique circumstances. Firstly, one, it is a seeding match. Secondly, everyone is exhausted at this point. They've all played 3 best of 3s. We got dupreeh fighting for his life there, but he'll be able to save the AK in the end. And Fnatic are going to be able to basically do pretty much whatever they want in this position. They've got such a big buffer of rounds. I mean, they could even lose. They only need to win 1 round. They could lose 5 rounds in a row and still have 2 or 3 extra rounds to 2 extra rounds to actually just win. So with the max loss bonus. And we already have a lot of chaos here. The quick peeks on the second mid coming in the way of both teams. The pace is being picked up by Fnatic. Look at this massive sprint here from Fnatic. They're in a very terrible hurry at the moment. But what are they going to be able to get out of this?
Looks like somebody needs to go to the Ludan, but will they be able to make it there? The QuestionMark team are trying to stop them from getting any closer. Everybody's on the A site now, and the trades are going the way of the CTs for the time being. Man advantage, bomb is down on the floor. There's still tons of time left. olofmeister going to re-smoke the library as JW evens up the numbers, moves into pit. Zipex is spraying. olofmeister picks up the bomb though. And dupreeh's been taken down. He was in an important position on short. olofmeister just holding the angle, waiting for Zipex to come out. He's got JW to try and defend as well. More smokes coming down, all the smokes. The bomb should get planted, so Zipex left in a situation where he's facing match point against 2 players. He's walking now to reset the situation. Fnatic will have to start to be wary of short and soon start to be wary of apartments as well. olofmeister goes down. JW does not have much health, 13 HP in fact. I'm not sure if he has his flash. He could have thrown it off the door, but it's too late now. He's got to win the duel here with Zipex, who makes his way onto the site. I can't detect if he's got a kit or not. If he doesn't, then he is up the creek with no paddle. JW is a non-believer, though. Not going for the peek. Second peek coming in from Zipex. He sees him on top of the box there, down to 7 HP now. More attempts coming in, but he sees Zipex jump back on the box, and he's going to win it just with passivity here. There's no more time or is there for Zipex to do this. It's going to be close. He's not going to make it. 16-7. Fnatic take the match 2-1. A very entertaining Inferno indeed.
Yeah, so there you go. Fnatic win it, and they definitely look a lot better than the start of today, which is very encouraging. Going into the playoffs, I'm happy for them. And TQL, they look pretty good as well. Of course, Fnatic looks better across the entire series. It's one of those weird series where you have it was just domination from either team into the 3rd map, but also it's kind of close at the same time. It's kind of weird like that, but. I'm really excited to see how these guys fare in the playoffs now, because we're starting to see them really get some good form going and get comfortable in this environment as well, which is really important.
We have an internet nerd who said that defuse from olofmeister was with 0.008 seconds left, which is apparently 1 tick on a 128 tick server, which means it's impossible to be closer.
Really?
To the defuse.
That's amazing.
That is legendary.
That is so fantastic.
Yeah, that is.
Thank you, random internet stranger nerd.
That is almost
we love all of you
as
nerds.
epic as Dan's stamp collection.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting actually, my stamp collection.
You don't have a stamp collection, do you? Or do you?
What do you think, James?
I don't think you're a stamp guy.
No?
No.
You can tell just by looking at me. Well, it's very presumptuous, James, of you.
Well, if you are a stamp guy, then I sincerely apologise, Dan. Maybe we will find out on another day. I think we are either going to commercial break or analyst, I'm not sure, but the producer's going to send you one way or another. Thank you for tuning in.
E-Gaming Bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks, and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
extra CSGO skins? Do you want to win really cool things? Visit csgofast.com. Place your bets and win really cool skins. csgofast.com. Check your fortune.
Welcome back to the desk, guys, for the last time today. It was a 3-map series, and in the end, it was Fnatic who were quite convincing this time on Inferno, unlike, obviously, against Titan earlier on in the day. I think a couple things came sort of to be in this game, and one is Fnatic's definitely woken up over the series, like Dan said. He's excited to see them go into the playoffs. The second is that I think TSM kind of all went the way of dupreeh, and we're a little bit asleep to start things off. That was one of the most convincing starts between those two teams that we've seen in a long time. I think it was 9-0 at one point for Flaren.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here we go. Swedish people are always really
but
insightful.
overall, actually...
No, that's it, you're done?
No, but actually, Fnatic's CT side is something that I haven't seen in a long time. Just how on point they were. The Behold, you saw KRIMZ and olofmeister just actually working together. They've actually been a little bit sloppy over there for quite some time now, and actually now you saw Fnatic just lit up, and it's just, again, we see TSM with the issues on the T side. You saw that on Dust 2 now, you saw that on Inferno now as well. And I mean, if they keep on going like this, and they're going to have to heavily rely on their CT sides and just falling short against Fnatic here.
I mean, rarely do we see a team with such a change of form on their T side in a single best of 3, you know. They had a miserable T side on Dust 2, then had an amazing T side on Mirage, went back to a miserable T side on Inferno. I think that basically that all of clutch round broke them completely, you know, because at that point it's a round that I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to lose that round in the future. But I think after that point they were completely broken.
No, absolutely. I think this clutch is just complete illustration of how sloppy sometimes TQM played. If I'm not mistaken, I think they lost 3-5v4 where they had the time and the possibilities to do whatever they wanted. And anytime they would reach the bomb spot, either A or B, they would allow Fnatic to get a double kill or a double trade like 2 for 1, which is not supposed to happen. I mean, when you're 5v4, obviously you just trade 1-to-1 and then mathematically you're winning the round. But they allowed Fnatic to get double kills, even triple kills going onto side because either it was a lack of refrag or a lack of utilities, but I really thought it was sloppy. So it was, on one hand, Fnatic playing a better CT side than what they did in the tournament, and on the other hand, TQM being really sloppy to me.
There was other struggles as well. Karrigan was back well into the single digits for a frag total in this map. I think he had 5.
6,
total.
I think, at the
okay,
at the
maybe
end,
6, yeah, in the end of it. I mean, look, in-game leading aside, I know we bring that up a lot. It's not really supposed to be an excuse. He still has to contribute.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, definitely. I mean, especially on the T side when they were actually struggling, and obviously it showed on his behalf as well. But I agree with Maniac a lot with when you do have the man advantage, and you end up, especially now with the new round time, when you have 10 more seconds to work with, you have a lot more time. Like 10 seconds, that's a lot in Counter-Strike, and especially on a map like Inferno when it is
a lot in my sex life too for Flaren.
10 seconds?
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
I'm not going to say.
We don't have Henry.
I'm not going to say anything because I'm the same way, bro. Like,
we don't have Henry at the desk to confirm that, but
dude, it's make or break it, man. It's like,
yes, I mean,
that's not a good day. Obviously, that's the pre-wank, and then you go in, and it's like, you might survive.
Thankfully, I have good utility to work with. But.
No, I agree. We'll take this up later. No, but like the extra 10 seconds, especially on a map like Inferno, when it's so heavily seat-decided, don't like, yeah.
It's falling apart, boys.
I had a good point. I had a good point.
You ruined it.
I know what you're trying to say. The 10 extra seconds, you should be able to slow it down and take advantage of the fact that you have that one
exactly.
man up. So
and everyone likes to rush the situation.
I mean, you gotta read and react, right? The mid-round call is always important.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta know your defenses.
Well, you also
This
need,
is not a family show anymore.
you need, sometimes people can get over aggressive. You need to know when you have to pull back.
Like when Yak goes,
We had a really good segment, and you just crushed everything. You realize that.
He's full on in tears. This is great. This is amazing. We don't even have Thor or Richard here, and we're still doing this.
Okay, I'm back in business.
Okay, we're back in business. So over the entirety of the series, we now know who they're going to play tomorrow as well. I know we're jumping ahead a little bit. It's going to be G2 that plays against Fnatic and EnVy versus TSM. You have to say TSM has the slightly harder.
no. Navi versus XTSM.
Sorry, I
it
messed
again.
this up all day. Did I do the Navi? Okay, look. That's what I meant. G2 Fnatic and it's TSM Navi. So there it is on screen. LG and EnVyUs, they're already through to the semis. They will not play tomorrow. It's just the qualifiers tomorrow. Thoughts going into those two games? I'd say that the better big deal is for Fnatic here, obviously.
Yeah, but we were talking about how much effort the teams would put just to get G2 or Navi. But actually, when you look at the result, it was extremely close here. I think it was overtime and then 16-14. So you cannot really argue that any of them is really easier to do.
Our producer's not happy,
like,
guys. Look, he's
Yeah, he's already come over here to stare
it's
at
like,
us.
guys,
You guys held it together. Tell you what.
Throw it to the interview.
Tell you what. I know someone who always holds it together. It's going to be Smix with an interview right now. We'll be back after that. Maybe.
Pretty much say to Kiss. It seemed like it was never going to come over to us, but finally we're here. JW, congratulations. Obviously, it's been a very long day. You guys have been here since around 10 a.m., but fortunately enough, you guys did come out with a win for the last match of the day. What are your thoughts?
Tired, but it's great that we advanced from the group after going up first against EnVy, losing 2-0. So, I mean, we won against QuestionMark and Titan, so overall the day I've been pretty good, I guess.
And I wanted to ask you specifically first about your choice to go with Dust 2 as your first map. Obviously, you guys are always known for being really good on Mirage and Inferno, and those two were available as a first choice, but you chose Dust 2 instead, and so I'm wondering what the reasoning is behind that.
Actually, we were supposed to ban Mirage against QuestionMark, but flusha somehow didn't realize it or something, he forgot it or something, so we banned another map instead. We knew that they usually have the upper hand against us in that map, and our Dust 2 is pretty good right now, I would say, and I feel like we know what they do on that map. Plus, we know that they saw our last map against Titan, which was Dust 2 as well, so we know that they had a feeling of what we were gonna do and stuff like that. So we felt it was a good time to pick it.
And speaking in general throughout the day, I know the analysts have been talking about this as well. You guys played both Mirage and Inferno a few times today, and you actually lost. So just wondering what you felt went wrong in those particular instances.
Mostly, I would say we just play bad overall. Of course, the teams we play are top teams, and they are gonna play at the top level. But I feel like what we're losing on is not them doing the stuff good. It's mostly we doing stuff bad and putting them in better situations than they maybe should have been in. So we're confident on every map. It's nothing we're gonna worry about or anything like that. We're just gonna keep playing our game and keep improving pretty much. So.
When you say that you felt that it was more of you guys not performing well, do you think that's just a matter of you maybe not adjusting yet to being in Minsk, or what do you think it is specifically?
I think it's mostly that we haven't played super long with Dennis, and it's still not 100% what we should do, when we should do it, and stuff like that. So I think we just need more time together and practice together with Dennis and put him more into the team in game-wise, pretty much. So I think we just need more practice time.
Yeah, and speaking of practice, I'm actually curious how you guys prepared headed into this event. I know you just mentioned that you've been trying to practice more with Dennis, but you did play with Dennis at the last 3 LAN events of 2015, and you actually got first place there. It was ESL ESEA Season 2 finals, Face It finals, as well as Frag by Masters. And so it's not like you guys haven't played with him. You actually did succeed in winning those tournaments. So specifically headed into this event, how did you guys practice with him?
We just focused on our games. We didn't look that much into the other teams. Just playing more with him so that we know in situations how he reacts to things, and that he learns how we react to things and what we do and stuff like that. It's like we have played so long with Pronax so that we always knew that when somebody do this, we do that, and stuff like that. So we don't really go over super much tactics. We like try to implement like one tactic per day and stuff like that. So we don't add super much instantly, because in the end we like to shoot headshots, and that's like our game plan pretty much. But yeah, I think it's we only try to get Dennis more into the team pretty much. That's basically it.
And obviously, Dennis's addition is fairly recent, but another recent new thing is that flusha is in-game leading. And I know you were mentioning that you've been, for such a long time, used to Pronax in-game leading. So how has that been adjusting to flusha as an in-game leader?
Well, 4 of us have played with the Pronax for so long, so that we, like, his spirit is kind of still in the team. You know, we know kind of what he calls in what situations and stuff like that. And flusha always reads the opponents very, very good. It's just like, we are pretty bad at listening to him. We're like, when he says something we should do, we do it like 20, 30 seconds later. So I think it's going very good so far, but we need to listen more to him.
All right, and last but not least, before I let you go, I know it's been a really long day. Your next opponent will be G2. I know that historically when you guys have played against them, you usually have a really good record against them. So headed into that match, are you guys feeling pretty confident?
Yeah, as you said, we have always had like the upper hand against them. So, and I'm sure Dennis wants to destroy them. So he will probably do that.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much, JW, for taking the time to do this interview. And that will wrap up our day here in the tournament area. We will head back to the desk with our Canadian brother, Sadicus, to wrap up the day's events.
Just a brother. Sorry to keep you waiting at the start of the interview, Sue. We were always going to come to you eventually, though. Guys, we had a couple of wise words there from Fnatic. JW talking about slow implementation of new tactics. One new strat a day keeps the loss streak away, I guess you could say. Just trying to feel out how Dennis is playing. How do you feel this process is going? Obviously, look, we had the honeymoon period of 3 wins, but the struggle at the start of this indicates it's not perfect.
I think it's obvious from his wise words that flusha was supposed to ban Mirage, but then he forgot about it eventually, so they ended up playing it. I think that paints a good picture of this.
Great in-game leader, that
Yeah, we agreed to ban it, but I guess he forgot about it, so we ended up playing it.
Secretly, flusha's
exactly
like,
what you want
I
in a
really
best
want
of
to play
3.
Mirage.
Yeah.
Screw these guys. So, sorry, I forgot. I don't know what happened, guys. Hey, we're playing Mirage. Sick.
Yeah, no, but I mean, when you have a new player, especially when you've been playing together for so long, and you lose your in-game leader and you bring in another fragger, yeah, it's going to take time to implement him in the team. Especially, I mean, he does have a point where if you end up dying, what is the reaction within the team, or how do you work within the team in like clutch situations and whatnot? It does take time, and especially when you have all these maps, and like he's saying, like one tactic a day, for example, when you go in and go over the maps, you tend to take the ones that you're most comfortable on, whereas you can just throw them in there and you start playing that. And the more time goes by, you're going to obviously be more comfortable on more maps than just the maps that we saw today. And even today, I mean, the maps that they did play were very sloppy, so there is definitely a lot of work to do on the Fnatic side.
I think that shows. I do think that we are in a good stead for tomorrow, though. So we do now know the situation. As we mentioned before, G2 plays Fnatic. TSM will go up against Na'Vi. Just quickly, guys, because we got to wrap up for the evening. Thoughts on those 2 games before we arrive there tomorrow?
I think that Fnatic's going to have somewhat of an easy game coming into tomorrow versus G2. Just coming straight out of a holiday. Sure, they put up a good performance today versus Na'Vi. But I think, again, as you were saying before this actually game went live, is that the games today didn't really matter. Yeah, sure, it was a matter of seeds, but they're still in the tournament, where I don't think you're going to see the best of the teams. I think they want to save it on coming into the playoffs. So I think for Fnatic tomorrow, I think it's going to be straight 2-0. Second game is XTSM versus Na'Vi. I think that one's going to be the highlight of the day. I think that's going to be a close one, especially coming into how good Na'Vi's been as of late. XTSM a little bit more on the downhill side. It's going to be fun to see if they can actually pull themselves together and reach yet another semifinal.
Yeah, well, I think we've got a lot to look forward to. Just for those at home, and obviously we're aware of this, tomorrow does have a slightly different format. We obviously head into the arena, which is awesome. It looks amazing. I have to say the screens are like triple the size of any screen I've seen so far in esports. So the spectators, the viewer, spectator, and spectacle is going to be incredible. The light show looks amazing as well. There is a bit of difference in schedule, though. We do swap back and forth with the Dota program. So they'll start things off in the morning. And I think within the CSGO stream, if you want to idle the stream and be here, make sure you're not going to miss anything, you can kind of have a smaller screen on the side just to show some of the Dota action. And then we jump on, then they jump on, then we jump on. So it swaps back and forth throughout the course of the day, just so that people are aware. So there's a good break between the two series. I'm really excited. 8,000 seats sold out. People here seem
8,000? What are you talking about?
Is it 18,000? Sorry. Yeah, I couldn't remember the configuration we went to. 18,000 seats sold out.
Only 10,000 seats. It's fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Look, I can't get everything right. In fact, I can't get anything right. But it's going to be awesome. The statistics, so people know about how intense it's going to be, is 9.5 million people in Belarus, 1 million active Steam accounts. And you know a lot of people are involved in gaming when people on Tinder are having gaming conversations with me. So I'm excited. I don't know about you guys.
I just feel like
I want to see Navi on a
You can
big
tell.
I
stage.
thought you were going to say you want
with
to see my
everyone.
Tinder account. To
No,
verify.
use Tinder account. We're gonna leave it to the hotel after the party. But
All right.
just seeing Navi with the public, like going crazy for them, I'm looking forward to that. Really
All
much.
right. Well, I think that we can go sleep on this. It's been a great day. We thank you for joining us. Of course, we thank our sponsors for making it all possible. EGB Bet Site. They've been covering all of the event. Get your bets in for tomorrow as well. Don't forget about G2A, the best marketplace on the net, as well as CSGO Fast with reliable bots and daily giveaways. Definitely check that out at Jackpot site. And the Score esports app, I was using that a lot today, actually, with the simultaneous streams, both streams going on at the same time. It's got everything you need for StarLadder coverage. And, of course, none of this would be possible without our lovely broadcasting site and partnership of Twitch. Thanks for flaring. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. It's been incredible. We are moving to the arena. The hype is going to build, and we are into the playoffs. Thanks so much. Good night.